My big beautiful bill. All the things that you can feel. You make me feel so alive with that incredible size. My big beautiful bill. Do you still wanna Netflix and chill? We can watch Brokeback Mountain, that movie ended in a big ass fountain. My big beautiful bill. Riding up and down that hill. And Hillary don't have to know about us. This some presidential, confidential ass love. My big beautiful bill. This that love that can be killed. I wrote a special act in your name. Passing this eternal back party sun flame. And I know you're a Democrat. I'm Republican, don't give a fuck about that. We were loving like Romeo and Juliet. West Side Story, baby, let's fake all that. We're together in these Epstein files. Presidential romance is still alive. Oval Office party, we were dancing. They saying boys can't stop advancing. You didn't have sexual relations with that woman. I know I was with you in a White House booming. Secret Service knocking while we were coolin'. Trying to be quiet when that big bill moved in. You look, it ain't you just feel it, it ain't suiting. You better always lie me down or we be coolin'. Hey, game stronger than a giraffe on that grueling. When you with Dino, you know that thing be drooling. Bill. You got a license for that drill. Missing you, my Billy Willie, boo. My Billy boy, whoop-dee snoop-dee, woo. Billy, Willie, woo. Whoop-dee Billy, Snoopy, whoop-dee woo. Billy boy, I think I love you. Whoop-dee woo, Snoopy Billy, boo.
Marco. Play it some more, Marco.
Gave him the money. Boom.
We gave him the money. Boom, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we absolutely did. Thank you guys for being here. We are back. Another episode. Another day, another stream. Another day, another dollar. Am I right? Let's check the input. Everything looks great. Let's check the sound. How does it sound? Inshallah, everything sounds great. Let's see. We gave him the money. It sounds so good. What's up, everybody? Here we got the chat. Thumbs up the ting, of course.
Thumbs up the ting.
Free to click like on the stream and get, notify people about this video and whatnot. Powwow Films shot and edited the original of the video we're going to react today for PBD, so I can't wait to see his thoughts or her thoughts. Don't know. Don't let me assume. Jeff Miller, what up? Member respect in the chat. We got a member respect. Yes. If you want to become a channel member, you already know the drill. Hit the little icon thing. Gift memberships to others. If you want to build this cult stronger, don't be crazy about it. The only way we're going to defeat the MLM cults is by having our cult be even more committed and even stronger in it and even more, cross-supportive. So, love when you guys do that. Thank you guys for being here. Love to see it. Alex FPV, what up? Thai Nation, what up? I filmed a new multi-level misery today with another guy who used to be in PHP. So I really have the multi-level miseries in a back catalog right now. I really, that's one series that I need to drop more frequently, for how easy they are to make. I really should be dropping, like, dare I say, at least 2 a month. If I was a real professional, if I was on my Caleb Hammer, I'd be dropping, 1 almost every day. But I would love to get to... The thing was, I never wanted to do too many. I wanted it to be like every other video that I do a multi-level misery video because I didn't want the feed to be clogged up. But I don't think anybody really even cares about that, do they? Most people watch videos because of what pops up on their recommendations tab, not going to someone's actual channel page, I think. At least that's what the data says, if I remember correctly. So Yeah, thumbs up the ting. Let's see, 50 viewers and how many likes? Let's see how many of you betray me and how many of you love me. Only 19 likes. Okay. Okay, so I'm just a horrible piece of shit then, aren't I? Um thanks for all the love on the newest multi-level misery. I'm always stunned by just YouTube and how you can never predict how something's going to do. Like you'll drop something that you think is going to be a banger, like the Indian scammer, Indian psychic video. I thought that was literally going to be like a potentially a viral smash hit. That video has still not even touched the 10K view mark after over a month. And I filmed it months ago and put so much work into it and spent money on it. Spent $150 going and doing consultations with those Indian psychics. So wow, stunningly a stunning flop. I even changed the thumbnail after I did a new thumbnail test, and I was like, wow, okay, so fuck me then, I guess. I'm washed. And then 5 days ago, I dropped this PHP multi-level misery. Not even the first. It's not even the first of these. You know, one of my most viewed videos ever is an interview with a gentleman, Andrew. It came out exactly a year ago now. A couple days ago marked the 1 year. 222K views just on a basically recorded Zoom call of us talking about PHP. I think I was in Thailand at the time we filmed that. And then now this one, 5 days, 50K views. I know it says 47K when you look at the preview. Oh, here, I should probably pull it up so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this one here. Look, it's an outlier doing 4.2x better than my most recent uploads. Yeah, 47K. I think, though, if I look at it, it actually has... If I look at it in YouTube Studio, it actually has more. But, yeah, it's wild. It's like you really never know what's going to do good. I also thought that one was kind of going to flop. I was like, people have heard me talk to folks that were in PHP before. It's 2 hours long. Nobody's going to watch this. And lo and behold, it's not only is it 1 of 10 on my channel, which if you know YouTube, it means like it's performing, it's ranked number 1 for views out of your last 10 uploads in for the time that it's been out, you know. So which is wild. So I guess following the, follow the signs. That's what they want to see. Even like from that video, I mentioned my debate with Alejandro Aguilar from PHP from it's going on 3 years ago now, I think, and I got a bunch of new comments on that too. So I guess a lot of people watched the new interview and went to go watch the debate that I had done with Alejandro Aguilar as well. So it's crazy. Yeah, the Indian psychic thing isn't my niche, but scammers in general, I would think, is my niche. No? Like, I don't even really believe in this. I mean, I do believe in niches, but also I believe in your ability as an individual to break out of your niche. Like, Coffeezilla was a guy who talked about all kinds of scams. Then he became known for crypto. Now he's like leading the charge on the Epstein files. It's like you can always, you can always branch out. So yeah, that's what I was trying to do with the Indian psychic video is branch out a bit and, try to look at a different sort of scam, one that was also funny, one that also, I don't know. It was also a throwback to my old content where I'm just like filming mostly with the phone, running and gunning. I thought it was a great fucking video, but yeah. Coffee's still in litigation with Logan. That's true. That doesn't mean he couldn't talk about any crypto at all. But yeah, speaking of litigation, it's pretty much at the point now. I mean, I know I always allude to different like legal matters that I'm dealing with, but one of them, which I am allowed to talk about publicly, I've just not done it because I've tried to be nice and I have tried to resolve things privately without making a big public feud out of it. So that hopefully we can just go our separate ways. I'll do this in exchange for you doing this, and the party that I'm referring to here seems to not be interested at all in peace. They seem to be interested only in doing everything in their power to destroy me, no matter how long it takes or how much money it costs. And I'm going on nearly 3 years of dealing with this one in particular. And so there's no gag order regarding it. I'm allowed to talk about it. I've been allowed to talk about it this whole time. And I just never really leaned into making a big piece about it or doing lots of coverage about it. I also didn't want to do like a GoFundMe or anything because it wasn't like a huge video that I released that had a bunch of public support behind it. It was a throwaway live stream that I did that I got sued over that didn't have many views at all. It wasn't like something that had this big momentum behind it. It wasn't like, it wasn't anything like that. It was just a throwaway. And, the company that sued me, they sent me a cease and desist letter months after the video, months after I did the live stream. Presumably it took them that long to even find it because it had so few views. And I'm talking like less than 10,000 views for sure. And they sent me a cease and desist letter telling me to delete it. At that time, I was already dealing with a different legal matter, and so I thought I don't want to be dealing with 2 lawsuits, so I complied and I deleted it. I did what they asked. I know, shocker to hear that from me. I did. I deleted the video that they asked me to delete. I thought, who cares? It was just one live stream. Fuck it. It'll be fine. Deleted it. They still sued me anyways.
What you were about to witness is real. The participants are not actors.
So at that point, it's like, okay, I've complied with your request. Almost nobody in the world has seen this live stream. Like, we can just move on. No, they were committed to spending presumably tons of money and now almost 3 years of time trying to pursue me. And it led to me losing my Patreon. They're now trying to go after my YouTube. I may very well wake up one of these days and find out that my YouTube earnings have been compromised. So, yeah, and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars of money that I don't have trying to fight it. And so, like I said, I never wanted to do a GoFundMe over it because I did one about 5 years ago when I was a much, much smaller channel. I had like a quarter of the followers that I do now on YouTube, and virtually none of the Instagram followers and none of the TikTok followers. But, it gets to a point. It gets to a point where I've tried to play nice. I've tried to resolve it peacefully and amicably, and there seems to be no peace on the table. And so the only 2 options are for me to fold and just fucking take it, which is obviously not going to happen, or to go on the offensive and try to utilize the platform that I have, which isn't huge. I'm not CoffeeZilla. I don't have millions of followers that are going to help me to get out there. But anywho, it's besides the point. I'm not going to not try, So, don't be surprised if in the near future here you see me dropping a video as well as a GoFundMe and as well as the limited edition merch line meant for supporting the lawsuit, because I've spent so much money on it already, and the only other leverage I can think to use is the potential public support. So, making it a public matter, making the public aware of it is, something that considering. Poor Red Sweep. J Poured. $10 super chat. Thank you. Keep up the great work, Marco. You are fighting the good fight. Thanks for all your excellent content. My wife absolutely loves it when you say the Elon Musk thing.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. You like that? Yeah. That was funny. Elon, my family wants a meeting with you. Get ready, Musk. What the hell? Her and the guy who's like, Joe Biden, wake up, September 11th. That guy, her and him need to collab. So yeah, anywho, that being said, don't be surprised if you see me drop a video soon talking about the lawsuit and, losing my Patreon and the GoFundMe and the custom merch line, and reminding you that you guys can book one-on-one calls with me on my online store. If you want to talk about getting a friend or loved one out of MLM, if you want to talk about building on YouTube, I can give you all my secret tips, secret sauce. Or if you just want to honestly talk about anything, the link is there. I guess there's no restriction on what we could talk about. So yeah, don't be surprised. I'm going to call in all the favors that I can once I go public with it, because what's happened to me is not right. And if I sound chill about this, it's not because it hasn't caused me a world of stress and headache and financial dismay. It's because I understand what I'm involved with here. You don't go up against multi-level marketing, the MLM apparatus of evil, without getting some backlash, and that takes many forms. It's comments, it's hate comments, it's also people trying to take down your Instagram. Back in 2021, when I was posting about I Am Academy a lot, I had my Instagram taken down like 15 different times over the course of like 2 months. Yeah, it's and then of course the lawsuits. Can't forget the lawsuits. We love the lawsuits, don't
What
we?
you were about
Yes,
to-
we do. Sunny Faz, Wagwan, what's up, Sunny, in the chat? I still have not got around to watching your documentary. I apologize. I keep telling myself I'm going to, and then I forget. Let me go to your channel right now and add it to my watch later. I was, by the way, Sunny. By the way, I'm a numbers guy. I was in Sneeko's chat like a week ago. And a couple people in the chat were, because I have the verified check mark in the chat, and a couple people were saying what up, but Sneeko never said hi to me. Sneeko, say hi to me, Sneeko. I'm just kidding. Yeah, appreciate it, Sonny. Hope you're doing well. I got to pull up to New York. I was just saying, don't be surprised when I drop this new video talking about new lawsuit. Probably going to be doing a GoFundMe. Probably going to be doing a limited edition merch line to support the lawsuit. Probably going to be seeing if coffeezilla is interested in jumping on a live with me or making a video on the second channel. Something. We'll see. I'm sure I could get I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Hassan's going to get on board. Maybe you never know. Maybe it becomes bigger than I expected. Who knows? But yeah, very fucked up situation. By the way, W Sneeko, yes. Hey, bud, I'm the guy that told you that me and the editing team at PHP used to listen to you while we worked. Oh, crazy. What year was this? Because I didn't really start talking about Patrick till 2024 is when I put the video out about him. Early March 2024, I think, or sometime in March 2024, the video called Exposing Patrick Bet-David's Pyramid Scheme. What up, Rob's neighbor? Okay, so is that all I wanted to cover? What else? I was back in the gym today for the first time in a month. Since I've been back, in the 6 months that I've been back in Canada, 3 of those months, I was not in the gym because I had an injury, dislocated my shoulder a month ago. That put me out for a month. Prior to that, I was sick with a horrible sickness that just lingered for a month. And prior to that, there was a bunch of stuff, me dealing with lawsuit shit, moving. I helped my family move from their house, and I also moved. And that just was a busy, hectic time, and I didn't get into the gym. So yeah, I don't know. Canada seems cursed. Canada just seems to be obstacles on obstacles on obstacles. And if you ever spent any time in Thailand, like an extended period of time like I did, you'll know that it absolutely ruins your life because you go back home and you're like, what the fuck is this? What is this country that I'm in? Why is everything so expensive? Why is everything brown and gray and hideous? I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about like infrastructure, buildings all have no character or anything anymore. Everything is price fixing and subscription and shrinkflation and enshittification, and the files don't exist. Actually, okay, they do exist, but there's nothing in them, and okay, there is stuff in them, but I wasn't in it, and okay, I was in it, but I wasn't involved like that. Okay, I was involved like that, but you can't do anything about it. I'm good. Okay, I'm good. So, I got to turn that down as well. Too loud. My sound effects. So, yeah, I need to get back to Thailand. I need to body these lawsuits. Knock on wood. Good things will happen in my near future, but yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the thing I just wanted to say about the reason I never went public with the lawsuit and made a big thing out of it or did a GoFundMe was because I wasn't sure if people would support it based on the fact that it wasn't a big a big video that had spurred it on. So I wondered if anyone would care. But I think people would care, you know? Oh, man. Chi-Town Rick, appreciate you. Remember, guys, YouTube takes 30% of the super chat, so use Streamlabs.
Dropped a bag $50 pawn super chat.
$50.
Sorry for all the BS you're going through. Raised fist, medium.
Looking at $50, you look at somebody like a Chi-Town Rick 8928, right? That's a lot of numbers, okay? And I'm a numbers guy. So when I'm looking at it, I'm doing this, I'm thinking about this and that. Is it because he has a lot of numbers, or is it because he's a numbers guy? We don't know. Appreciate you, Chi-Town Rick. Thank you so much. Really, it means the world. Okay, speaking of Patrick Bet-David, let's check out this video. It is called Patrick Bet-David Interviews Patrick Bet-David. Why? So, yeah, let's check it out. This is it was released in April 3rd, 2020, nearly 6 years ago. I guess COVID put a hamper on booking guests on the show. And so he had to take drastic measures to get content out there. And by the grace of Satan, this video has 300,000 views. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so let's check it out.
The moment I left high school, that's when the partying started. Did that create any kind of friction between you and your dad?
Already, I'm like, oh, you know, you could have just dropped a video that was an hour long. You didn't need to do a fake This is real, by the way. This is on the fucking valuetainment page. 7 million subscribers. It's called Patrick Bet-David Interviews Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David Interviews Patrick Bet-David. You could have just done a video where the questions like popped up on screen and then it cut back to you. You still could have filmed that by yourself. Or you could have just done a video being like, my life story, and talking to the camera. That would have been way more endearing and communicative with your audience than whatever this is.
You're being serious? That's your first question?
You're being serious? That's your first question. As though he didn't film himself separately asking the questions and then answering them. And now he's making it look like he has he's having a dialogue.
Is there any reason why you don't talk a lot about your mother? Pat's gonna end up being a drug dealer. I don't like his friends. And a lot of times she had a valid reason. Did you ever at any point struggle with any kind of addictions? It's not good when your friends are on shrooms, and he gave me half a pill of ecstasy. Why is this unicorn chasing me? And my buddy's like, that's a tree, it's not a unicorn. Who were you in high school? I'm a pen pal to my health and guidance teacher. She'll tell me, here's what's going on with my chickens. What's the story between these semi-naked pictures that you have online? Chatsworth at the time produced 80% of all the porn around the world. Where is this going? I decided to play ball, and I wanted to be in the arena, and this comes with this. How is it being married to somebody like you? We've never had a conflict working with each other, except for the first week. We went through this tornado. Is this still the focus, to be the #1 channel on YouTube for entrepreneurs, or are you trying to be the #1 channel on YouTube for mobsters or bodybuilding?
If we fill the dono goal, fuck it. If we get even some people to use the Streamlabs link in the chat, I will eat this Dubai chocolate that my niece gave me. I don't know, I've never had it, but we're gonna, you know, I'll do a mukbang. I'll do an ASMR. You see it. Somebody in the chat, almost Carolina, says, Marco could have set up a GoFundMe, but then the people drinking the Kool-Aid would bring it up in debates. But Marco, don't you ask for money sometimes? Like it somehow debases your argument. Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, lawsuits are expensive. What do you want me to say, y'all? What do you want me to say? 100 people in here. Thumbs up the ting.
Thumbs up the ting.
It's free to click like on the stream, and it helps people get notified that we're live. I don't know if you have an option in the chat to click hype, but that's apparently a new thing that you can hype videos. Don't know what it means, but go for it. If you want to support, I'm announcing one of my lawsuits very soon that I've been not talking about publicly for the better part of 3 years. And soon I will be going on the offensive with respect to that. So if you want to support the boy, Streamlabs link in the chat, super chat in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
There is a strategy to the madness of valuetainment. This is going to sound weird. I see a lot of me and you. That's all I can tell you.
I see a lot of me and you. To himself.
Good luck to you. I was a very good dancer, if that's what you want to know.
most random collection of clips. Let me not get demonetized here. I'm with Sammy the Bull Gravano in Las Vegas last night. We took the jet. So I'm talking to him. I'm looking at him like this is a guy who you look at him, Tony Robbins, Phil Heath, Jordan Peterson, Jordan Belfort. You look at these type of guys. These are killers, right? These are guys who really know what they're doing. I wonder if I would make money on Cameo impersonating Patrick Bet-David and doing like birthday shout outs for people as Patrick Bet-David, you know? Say happy birthday to my boy John. Oh, and then the cameo is me being like, so you look at this is a guy who, you look at somebody like a John Smith. John Smith, this is a guy who, he's turning 30 years old, okay? That's number one. And then their friends say something in the prompt for the cameo where they're like, tell John that that he's stinky. But you look at a guy like this, and I remember we're having dinner at Casa D'Angelo, and everybody's going like that, smelling around, and I'm thinking, Tom, Adam, Vinny, who is that smells so bad, okay? And I realized it's John, right? Anyways, so I'm on Minect, basically Minect.
Have a So today's guest, I have a love-hate relationship with him. I think I've probably had the most arguments and debates with today's guest. I don't know why it is. It just seems like every time we talk, it leads to a lot of friction. But today I'm hoping we can have a civil conversation together. With that being said, my guest today is the host of Valuetainment as well as the CEO of PHP agency, Patrick Bet-David. Patrick, thanks.
Great. This was back when he would still proudly mention the name of the company.
Thanks for making the time to be a guest today on Valuetainment. It's good to be here. So, look, Patrick, obviously a lot of people...
It's just so jarring. Just be a normal human. Be a normal human and do an endearing video where you're just talking to the camera, you know?
Already know quite a lot about your background, whether it's your parents, Iran, growing up, military, divorce, all of that stuff. I want to ask some questions that maybe we've never touched up on before or it's new to you. Is that okay with you? That's fine, yeah. So let's start off with the first question. Look, I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors that you used to dance a lot, you know, nightclubs, you know, dancing was like a big part of your game back in the days when you were younger.
Was Patrick a stripper? I've heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true. Somebody let me know.
What is the story with you being a dancer? Were you a dancer before?
Kevin Grems in the chat says, Casa D'Angelo is like the mythical Dorsia restaurant in American Psycho. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. So let me ask you a question. Where do you want to go for dinner? Hold on. Let me put the... Okay, so let me ask you a question, okay? Where do you want to go for dinner? Do you want to go to Casa or do you want to go to Dorsia? You know?
What do you mean dancer? Like, did you ever dance?
Wow. And then him asking the clarifying questions to himself. What do you mean dancer? Jesus Christ.
Were you a dancer before? What do you mean dancer? Like, did you ever dance? Like, did you ever get paid to dance? Was there any kind of elements of you dancing at nightclubs? That's your first question? I mean, like I said, I'm going to ask you some questions that we've not asked before. So yes, that's my first question. I was a very good dancer, if that's what you want to know. That's really your first question, though. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Even to himself, he doesn't answer questions straightforwardly. Even to himself, he won't say yes or no. Yes, I was paid. No, I was not paid. He won't say one of those two. He just says, I was a very good dancer. He's even giving him, you know, you've reached a new level of sunken place in the matrix when you can't even answer a straight question to yourself fakely on a pre-recorded video. You know? Getting political with your answers already.
So look.
You look at the painting behind me, we see the Shah of Iran, Milton Friedman, two people who would have loved each other in real life.
The topic of your dad comes up a lot. You're always talking about your dad. Growing up, I know there was some time where you talk about your dad wasn't in the picture, you know, where you were either you were in Germany or something like that. Did that create any kind of friction between you and your dad? That's a great question. I think at one point I was a little bit resentful, probably when I was in Germany and I didn't get a chance to see him for 2 years. You got to realize my dad and I mean, I've never had a bad relationship with my dad, aside from me getting out of the military maybe for the first month or two because he was trying to kind of get me to be the 14-year-old kid, which wouldn't work. But I've never had a bad relationship with him. I was resentful for not seeing him for 2 years because I just loved his company so much. But Yeah, no, my dad and I have had a great relationship pretty much from day one. He always used to tell me, he would say, you know, the reason why I'm tough on you is because one day I want us to be best friends for the rest of our lives. And he is my #1 best friend in my life today. So I'm curious, when you were living in Iran, was your dad talking to you about the political climate in Iran? Was that conversation taking place, or he wasn't really talking much politics with you? We never talked about politics. I had no idea what was going on. His method to the madness was to not make it seem like anything is a big deal. It was always like, it's going to be all right, it's going to be fine, it's going to go away. He wanted to calm the storm rather than add to the storm. It was almost like, at this phase of your life, you don't need to spend too much time consuming.
Brandon, you got it. What up, Brandon, in the chat? Members, what's up? You got to turn the notifications on. What's going on?
Your mind with this. You need to be a kid today and grow up and learn to be a better leader, but you don't need to know a lot about politics. That was my dad's approach to it.
Imagine they kiss at the end of this interview.
He kept a lot of the pressure away from us. Interesting. I'm curious, how does your dad feel?
I'm curious. I'm curious. Let me record a clip real quick. This is insane. This is fucking insane.
Kept a lot of the pressure away from us. Interesting. I'm curious, how does your dad feel about your life right now? I mean, I'm sure he's proud. You know, he's said it many times, but...
I literally can't believe this is real. Asking yourself, I'm actually curious, what do you... Only someone as full of himself as Patrick Bet-David could think this was like a cool idea to film an interview of him interviewing himself and acting totally genuine about the questions he's asking, as though he doesn't know the answer to the question already, as though he isn't talking to himself, as though he didn't sit down and record himself asking the question and then record himself answering the questions and then edit it together, watch it back, be like, yeah, this is good, and then release it. Does he have no one around him in his circle that could tell him, Patrick, this isn't it? Clearly not. I can't believe you've done this.
The relationship is a different relationship today. You know, I told him a long time ago, you've done your part the first 25 years. From here on, it's on me. You just tell me what you want. I'm gonna make sure this thing's gonna be taken care of. And he's heard that from me, I don't know how many times. You talk a lot about your father, but we don't hear a lot about your mother. Is there any reason why you don't talk a lot about your mother? My mom and I have a different kind of a relationship than my dad. My mom was a warrior. Everything to her was, she was always worried about bad things happening. Whether it was living in Iran with war, whether it was with us, Pat's gonna end up being a drug dealer. What if Pat ends up doing this? I don't like his friends. I mean, the typical mom stuff that you worry about what your kids are gonna do. And a lot of times she had a valid reason, because some of the people I was hanging around with were probably not the best people to hang around with. But she would always say, you know, Pat, you can do whatever you wanna do. Anything you can do bad, if you do it, I may not find out, but the man upstairs is watching everything you do. That visual really, you know, did a number on me, because every time I wanted to do something that was...
Them cutting back to his, like, inquisitive faces, like, really? Oh, okay. It's hilarious.
Out of the ordinary, I'm like, well, mom's not gonna find out. Dad's not gonna find out. But you mean to tell me someone's watching me? Yeah. Maybe I ought to think about not doing this. So she instilled different kind of mind.
Someone is watching me run a multi-level marketing scheme where the vast majority of people lose money by virtue of the mathematically impossible endless chain design? Really? Somebody is watching me lie to people and deceive them into a supposed business opportunity where I know in my heart that they're almost guaranteed to lose money before they ever get involved? Oh, I should probably think about that before I do it, right?
I will tell you this. There is no way in the world I am who I am today without my mom, because my mom instilled the ability to read people. You know, I watch body language.
She instilled you with the ability to read people, but not read the room, apparently.
How my mom was constantly with her worries and concerns, and how my dad was, and how the relationships were. I got that part of it from her. And she's a little bit more of a nitpicker than most people are, and I would say I'm a little bit of a nitpicker as well. But yeah, my relation with my mom is very different than my relation with my dad. Based on that, what type of relationship would
Somebody said it best in my comments on one of my videos about Pat. They said, Patrick Bet David is a poor guy's idea of what a rich guy is and does. And I think earlier on, like this is videos from 6 years ago, it's so evident in a video like this where you have one shot where it's like all his books and his, you know, his stylized bookshelf that says read, you know, the Ty Lopez here in my garage, knowledge, you know, the thing about how Ty Lopez was always pushing in that one video, he's talking about reading a book a day or whatever and pushing books. And then the Batman, the George Clooney Batman statue, like things that he would picture. Actually, it's in the movie Rocky 5, I think, when there's this scene where like Rocky has like the robot butler in his house and it's like all this extravagance and nonsense. I feel like Patrick watched that and was like, this is something a rich guy would have in his office. A fucking Madame Tussauds bust of George Clooney's Batman standing next to the Hulk by his knowledge bookshelf. And then on the other side, behind him, you have the Shah of Iran, Milton Friedman, Martin Luther King, Senna. It's just so classless, tasteless, Steven Seagal bullshit.
you want to have with your kids one day? Obviously, it's going to be slightly a different relationship with me and my boys than I had with my father because they're going to have resources that my dad didn't have. Let me explain. My dad's job was to give us a better environment to go out there and spread our wings and whatever we're going to do with it, right? That was the whole idea about, hey, my mom and my dad, because my mom was more influential on us leaving Iran. If it wasn't up to my mom, we would probably be in Iran longer. My mom's like, we got to get out of here because he's going to serve. So his purpose.
Wait, so your mom wanted you to get out of Iran so you didn't have to serve in the military, but then you ended up just being in the military in the U.S. anyways? And then didn't shut the fuck up about it for the next 100 years?
Was to get us out where, and then what I'm going to do in my life, where my purpose, what my kids is, they have access to more resources. So it's about what they do with those resources and those contacts. They have a bigger upside than their daddy. You know, they have a bigger start than their daddy. But
my son Dilly, my son Tico, and my daughter Brooklyn, or is that Senna Rose? We don't know. My son, you know what the best thing about doing the Patrick Bet David impressions is people comment different little isms that I make notes of to incorporate into my future videos where I'm impersonating him, because somebody said that you need to do one where Patrick's talking about Tico and Vinny calls him a stud. Even though I can't recall off the top of my head that happening, it's one of those things. It's like, you don't even need to show me a clip. I know for a fact that is such a Vinny thing to say, you know? He's a stud. What a stud. Or even Patrick, my son Vinny, what a stud, you know?
Their daddy. But the friendship side, the relationship.
How did I dig this up? Bro, it popped up for me. The YouTube gods were like, here go 3 mo for y'all. You know, the LeBron James in the studio with 2 Chainz where he invents the deluxe album. And he's like, here go 2 mo for y'all. That's what God did. That's what the YouTube gods did.
Relationship side, the leadership side, the expectation side, a lot of that's going to be similar. Since you have a daughter, I know you got 2 boys and you got a daughter, do you treat all your kids the same? Do I treat them all the same? No, I don't treat my daughter the same. Matter of fact, last night was a special night because my girl and I have a very unique relationship. She loves her mommy. She's
look at the truck. Look at the truck with the blue and white stripes. The Israel branded, the Israeli flag branded fucking Ford F-150 with the Cobra on the front of it. We know, Pat. We get it. You love Israel.
She loves her mommy.
Speaking of Israel, somebody in the chat, where's my Jews in the chat? Somebody said, Jews for Marco. Jews for Marco, stand up. I don't know where you are. Oh yeah, Joshua Blumberg, Jews for Marco, roll call. The Jewish community, the gay community, the black community, every other community, I've got them all in the palm of my hand. I'm the one YouTube creator who is not divisive at all, who everybody agrees and loves. Period. Johnny Azul in the chat. What up, Johnny Azul? I might have missed him. He might already be gone by now, but shout out to Johnny Azul. I saw your I see that wrench in the chat saying light up the thumb, or sorry, that shield. She's team mommy 100%, but she's got a different connection with me. You know, when her and I when I put her down,
and she wants to get close, and I'm hugging her, and we're spending that quality time together. It's a complete different feeling than my boys. So my daughter, I treat in a
Legend Gaming stand up. Yep, representing the Jews, the Jewish goons. Appreciate you.
completely different way. But I will tell you this: she's a professional smack talker. I mean, she knows how to bring it. She knows how to poke. She knows how to instigate. Got it. She knows how to get what she wants. I don't know what's going to happen with knows how to instigate. Got it. She knows how to get what she wants. I don't know what's going to happen with her, but she's either going to be an attorney or she's going to get what she wants because she's got a very, very, very strong
Or she's gonna run a multi-level marketing scheme.
personality at a young age. But it's a complete different relationship I have with her than the boys. If there's one thing you do talk about, I don't know what it was on one of the interviews, you said something about reading people. You spend a lot of time talking about reading people. Do you think that's something that can be taught? I think
Why is there inspirational music being played?
anybody can learn how to be better in something. But there are certain things, no matter how much time you put into getting better at it, somebody else can get great at it. I can learn how to hit a baseball and get pretty good at it. But I am never going to be able to get as good at hitting a baseball than like Ted Williams because he's had the 20/20 vision and the way he would see things and everything would slow down. You can't do nothing about that, right? There are certain things I can do to get as good as somebody else's, but never great. Reading people, a part of it has got to be the life you've lived, because the more friction of a life you've lived.
Yeah, what up, Queen of Karma? I like how he asks the question like he doesn't know the answer. Yeah, like he's got to think about it. Like, that's a good question. Actually, now that I think about it.
Where there's more controversy, more heated issues, more things you saw, more fights, more challenges right in front of your eyes as a kid coming up. All of that is memory that's being stored here, and it stays, right? And when it stays here, later on in your life, when you see somebody that's behaving in a certain way, you say, oh, this reminds me of 28 years ago when that took place, in very similar habits, and it's very similar attitude and language. If that's the case, the next move he should make should be this. Oh my God, that's exactly what he did. Got it. So you go back to the inventory you've had. So to be able to read people is a byproduct of the life you've lived, and a part of it has to do with who you are as an individual. Then a part of it is putting into practice and studying the skill. But yeah, that's what I would say. Wow, and you got interesting. Do you think someone can be book smart and be good at reading people, or street smart? What do you think it is to be good at reading people? It's definitely an advantage. So think about it. A person that's got, so say they face against each other. Street smart faces off against book smart, right? There's going to be places where the book smart has an advantage over the street smart, right? It's like the scene from, what is that movie? Is it the Good Will Hunting, right? Where he says, how about them apples? That one scene at the bar. He meets a book smart guy, and he's quoting all this stuff from, books and bragging about it to trying to get this girl's number. And then shows up Matt Damon, who's a kid from Boston, friends with Affleck, and he's a street smart guy and book smart. He annihilates this guy. So if this guy, there's one thing he can't pick up. You can't teach street smart to a person. If a person's raised in a very safe, peaceful environment with not a lot of conflicts, how are you going to teach him street smart? Well, how are you going to teach him that? That part is not possible, right? But if you combine the two together, that's a very dangerous combination. Pat, you regularly talk about hard work. You're always preaching hard work. The whole outwork, out-improve, out-strategize, outlast. Do you ever wish you worked less so you had more time to spend with your kids and your family? I don't think so. Let me explain to you why. Selfishly, there's nothing I enjoy more than to be around my kids. Selfishly, I would like my kids to not go to school and we get on a plane and we go travel places and we hang out together. Selfishly, I'd like to, be with them 24/7 and hang out and go relax and go to movies and go to parks and play sport. Selfishly, I'd love to do that, right? But I have to go back and think about what is good for them, what is good for their lives. I got 18 years with these guys that they're going to be with me. After 18 years, they're going to live on.
And Paz, has he brought up the Shah yet? He's brought up Iran, but we're still waiting on the Shah. Trust me, everybody in the chat is waiting with bated breath for the Shah. Tell me, Pat, would you win a fight against Mike Tyson in his prime? That's a good question. Now, when you look at a question like that, you got to think about it. What up, Guitar Guy? What up, Jeff Miller? Look at all these members in the chat. Make the chat green again. The link's gone to manipulate an audience for real. Legit narcissist. Imagine jerking yourself off this hard. God, these people are insufferable for sure. Did he bring up the Shah? Reza Pahlavi. Reza Pahlavi. Yeah. Oh my God.
For their life. It is selfish of me to want to have them around me 24/7 and not teach them the habits that my dad taught me to be a good citizen, right? What is a good habit?
Create dangerous environments for your kids to teach them street smarts. Clicks pen. So funny.
To learn to be a good citizen. A good habit to learn to be a good citizen is to be independent, is to lead, is to respect, is to improve, is to love, is to have courage, wisdom, tolerance, understanding, is to not get bullied and not bully people. And to do that, I woke up. Every day when I woke up, I'm like, where's Dad? He was already gone to work. So for 10 years in my mind is, when you wake up, the man's got to be gone to work. So you got to go get to work, right? Okay. Then I would see my dad would come home, and I would see him once a week.
Cody Cummins says, my mocking his voice is absolute gold. Bro, I did an entire hour-and-a-half stream on Halloween. Like, I did an entire episode of the PBD podcast on my stream on Halloween where I was him for an hour and a half. We're having dinner last night, and we're looking at it the other day. So let's... I need to go watch this again. I don't know. I looked back at this, and I was actually like, how did I do it nonstop for an hour and a half? That's the one, Rob.
Guys, we officially...
And also me clicking the buttons by myself, but acting like Rob, acting like there was someone else in the room pulling it up. They had something like 25, 30, 35. Why aren't you guys seeing it? Oh, fuck, I forgot. I didn't add it to the thing. Hold on here. 29 charges, something like that. He's found liable or guilty on one thing. I think people are saying it's not the way it's supposed to be. They're not letting Trump talk about it. And was it a fair process? A lot of people are saying, no, it's not. What do I think? I don't know. As you know, I actually don't have any opinion about anything. I just sort of regurgitate headlines and do whatever's going to be best for me personally, but I don't actually have any sort of moral compass or opinion to speak of. So, Rob, go back to the thing we was talking about. Okay. Rob, pull up the...
This guy is hilarious.
Pull up that story we saw of the...
This guy is fucking hilarious. Okay.
Week. On a Friday. In Iran, the Friday is U.S.'s Sunday, right? So he would come home on Friday. We'd wake up early. He would take us to the park. After the park, we'd go to church. After church, we'd go to grandma's house. Then we'd come home. Then he would have his 2 hours to take a nap. Then we'd watch it, have dinner together. Then we'd have family time together, watch a movie, and we'd go to sleep. And I look forward to that one day together, right? So for me, I look at these kids and I think about, okay, I have all the resources in the world today where I can sit home and do nothing. I don't have to work at all. I can sit home and be around these guys for the rest of my life. But is that teaching them the habit they need to also go out there and win in their lives when they're past 18? I don't think so. I think they're going to go back and think about how their daddy was when they were younger, to reflect on those memories and those habits and hopefully apply those things into their lives one day. That's interesting, you sharing that. Did you ever at any point struggle with any kind of addictions? I don't know, maybe it's drugs or alcohol or anything else growing up. My struggle wasn't with drinking. My struggle...
There was no update on the Adam comment. It wasn't DMs, it was comments, but he never... No, there was no back and forth. He said me talking about Pat's MLM was fake news and then never responded.
It was probably with partying and women and chasing skirts. That's probably was my addiction. I just liked it a lot. And
we know, Pat. We know you're a little freakazoid. Super freak.
He's super freaky.
Or alcohol or anything.
Super freaky.
Anything else growing up. My struggle wasn't with drinking. My struggle was probably with partying and women and chasing skirts. That's probably was my addiction. I just liked it a lot, and I enjoyed it. Like if I could do it every day, it was.
Release the Patrick Bet-David files. I'm getting major Diddy. I'm getting major Diddy vibes. I'm getting major. Not good.
That hunt, that excitement of somebody new. You know, the
addicted to gooning. He just like me for real. This PBD guy sucks. What up, David? All the mods in the chat. Make some way. Clear a path. Clear the mosh pit. The mods are here. The mod pit.
18-year-old kid, when a girl says there's no way in the world and you wanted to see if you can figure out a way to get her to like you or be interested in, what's the strategy you need to use to go about it. I was in that phase for a good 6-7 years.
6'7"? Guys, 6'7". 6'7" was mentioned by Patrick. Well, he's a prophet. 6'7" mentioned by Patrick Bet-David, April 3rd, 2020. I mean, he was so ahead of his time, was he not?
From 18 to 25, I was very committed. Did it work most of the time? Well, the great thing about strategies is you can test them multiple times. When you test these strategies, you think they're working, then they don't. Then you make some adjustments, then you get better. But the whole thing.
Pat was definitely one of those guys reading like pickup artist books.
With strategies is it's never 100%. Strategies is all about increasing the percentage. It's not 100%. It may work 1 out of 10, and then you get better. It's 2 out of 10, then 3.
Oh yeah, Dominic in the chat says, I just know Pat was taking 8 balls to the face in one go back in the day. I mean, have you seen those fucking nostrils? Have you? Have you seen those nostrils? Yeah, I mean, he could do an entire baggie, and it would be like to a normal person the equivalent of like one speck of dust going up there.
Out of 10, but it's never going to be 10 out of 10. The idea is to make your strategies better. And as long as you're making your strategies better.
This is something Ming would do on BFR. Peter Mingles on Building Fortunes Radio, one of my biggest fans. He wouldn't do this. He would do an AI of this. He would do AI, him talking to himself, or he would talk to the AI somehow.
Whether it's with, women, party, and business, money, finance, it doesn't matter. Everything's about improving your strategies. So that's the philosophy that I applied in every aspect of my life. We got a lot of single people on valuetainment. Is there any strategies you want to share with the rest of us that worked for you? So I'll give you two strategies. Here's what I'll tell you. One is if you're by yourself and you're going to a nightclub. And the other one is who you're going to the nightclub. It's very, very important what crew you go out with, okay? So let's first focus.
Kai, that was such a solid Kai.
Focus on you, then we'll give the crew. If it's you, okay, if it's you and you're going by yourself to a nightclub or a place that's going to have a lot of options there, make one round, and on your one round, compliment 20 different women in areas.
Oh my God. This is a clip. This is a fucking clip, dude. This is so bad. This is so bad. We need to clip this.
So let's first focus on you, then we'll give the crew. If it's you, okay, if it's you and you're going by yourself to a nightclub or a place that's going to have a lot of options there, make one round, and on your one round, compliment 20 different women.
Don't do that.
In areas that they put a lot of time into. So complimenting them on what everyone's going to say.
Imagine actually doing that. Imagine actually doing that. Going around. How many people are in this club, first of all? 100 people? 200 people? 300 people? You're going to like a significant percentage of them. Hey, by the way, I love those shoes. You ever thought about making extra money? PHP, multi-level marketing. I mean, the more I think I have seen it all from Patrick Bet-David, the more he just surprises me. He always has a new trick up his sleeve, a new nonsense nugget of babble to say. The gift that keeps on giving.
Hey, oh my gosh, you got such a, I love your body, I love your boot. All these, that line's not effective. Got it.
God, interviewing himself. Saying this while interviewing yourself. Dude.
Say, oh my gosh, you got such a, I love your body, I love your boot. All these, that line's not effective. Got it.
I didn't edit this, by the way. This is a video that he posted on his own channel called Patrick Bet-David Interviews Patrick Bet-David 6 years ago. He himself filmed himself asking himself questions and then reacting to himself and then edited it together and posted it. I swear I'm not like trying to make him look worse. This is just what it is.
Maybe for a certain community.
Got it. Okay. Okay, let me ask you a question.
but not effective for all communities. And it's been tested, by the way, many, many times. But you're telling a compliment on hair, because I took time to fix my hair. I love your eyebrows, because eyebrows, you got to put details into it. Hey, I got to tell you, I'm big on
Psycho sniping woman in the yeah, clavicular 6 years before clavicular was a thing. Clavicular was 14 when this came out, taking notes. Clip farming randoms in the club.
the right amount of makeup. I can tell you did the right amount of makeup. Your face, you look very, very good.
Don't ever say that to a girl about.
I can tell you did the right amount of makeup.
I'm gonna film a clip of this too.
Because eyebrows, you got to put details into it. Hey, I got to tell you, I'm big on the right amount of makeup. I can tell you did the right amount of makeup. Your face, you look very, very good.
Don't ever say that to a girl, please. Don't ever say this to a woman.
You did the right amount of makeup. By the way, that's the right.
Don't just spare yourself. Spare yourself. That's gonna end up in an argument. Also, if you tell a girl, I love your eyebrows, that comes off as gay. And I'll tell you, I used to, when I was like 17 or 18, my dad had a hair salon and I answered phones at the front desk of the hair salon. So, of course, it's mostly women coming in. It wasn't a barbershop, it was a hair salon. And I remember I asked a woman one time, is that your natural hair color? And I'm telling you, there is no way to say that. There is no way to ask that question and sound like a straight guy. Try it. Try it right now at home. In the most masculine way you can think of, say the words, is that your natural hair color? You couldn't even remix it to sound straight. You couldn't even be like, hey, yo, so if you didn't dye your hair, what would it look like? Even that's like, pause. Why are you asking me that, you know? Is that your natural hair color? Love those brows. Love them. Insane. I can't believe you've done this.
It's got to be things that they're putting time into. Your toes, flawless.
Don't say that.
What you were about to witness is
Don't say
the
that.
participants are not actors.
Okay. You think I'm making this up.
I'm big on the right amount of makeup. I can tell you did the right amount of makeup. Your face, you look very, very good. It's got to be things that they're putting time into. Your toes, flawless. I got to tell you, I'm a toe. Your
I gotta say what? I'm a toe guy?
toes are flawless.
Don't say that to a woman, please. You're gonna get arrested, my friends, if you go up to a girl at the club.
I love your toes. By the way, me, Adam, Tom, Vinny, we're at Casa D'Angelo.
Just don't say that.
Those things stick around. So when you go in the second round,
Toes things stick around.
I want to hear him say I'm a toe.
That's it.
He cut himself off.
you're,
I'm a toe. Somebody clip this. Somebody clip him saying I'm a toe.
it's got to be things that they're putting time into. Your toes, flawless.
I'm with you, Pat. No, really, I am with you. I love toes. If you're my girl, if you're my girlfriend, it's sort of like, you know, the way a mother is not grossed out by her baby when the baby vomits. If you're my girlfriend, there's basically nothing you can do to gross me out because I'm blinded by love, right? The chemical, hormonal reaction, whatever it is, the pheromones have blocked me from even feeling gross about you if you're my girl. I love the toes. If I find a toe in the orbit of my face, you might end up, you might lose one. I get it. I'm with you, Pat. But don't say this to a stranger. Don't say, like, that's something you pull out later. You don't bring that out in the first moment. By the way, you're walking around the club in this scenario saying this to 20 women. So they're watching you compliment this girl, compliment that girl. Now it's my turn.
Oh, I love your toes.
Yeah, I saw you say that to the girl 3 girls ago. YMCA. He's there in the club it's 1999. Patrick's there.
Oh my God.
Won't you take me to Funky Town? That's the type of song that I picture. Patrick shirtless with his you know, in the picture he showed with the sunglasses on, he's like this. He's dancing like Elvira in Scarface in that one scene in the club where she just does this with her arms. Won't you take me to Funky Town?
By the way, I love your toes. famous. Oh my God. By the way, you hear him from a distance. The music's doing boom, ba-dum, won't you take me to boom, ba-dum, funky town? You just hear him from a distance. By the way, I love your toes. I really would like to see if you want to go to Casa D'Angelo. By the way, going to Casa D'Angelo, I would love to see you there if you want to go to your toes. Boom, ba-dum, won't you take me to boom, 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 boom. Some girls like to buy new shoes and others like dun, dun. What's the lyrics? Show me the lyrics. The phone rings in the middle. Patrick dancing. In the middle of the night, my father yells, "What you gonna do with your life?" Oh, daddy dear, you know you're still number one. But girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls. By the way, I love the amount of makeup you did was just the right amount. Let me look at your toes. Wanna have fun. That's all they really want. You're there, you're a girl in 1999 trying to have fun in the club. Let's get drinks. See that girl? Watch that scene. Sing it, dancing queen. Pat comes up. By the way, I love your eyebrows. How long did it take you to do that? Because I'm looking at, and then he takes a entire ball of cocaine. Like it's not even in powder form. It's like an actual solid ball of it that hasn't even been ground up yet. And it just in one go. By the way, I'm going to start a company. I'm right now World Financial Group. I'm going to start a company, PHP agency. You're going to make a lot of money. You can dance. You can jive. The time of your life. Oh, show me your feet. See that girl? Watch that scene. Sing it, dancing queen. Rob, how many girls is that now? 19? We need one more. We need to prospect like we're in World Financial Group right now. Oh, please. When Patrick Bet-David is in the club and it's 1999 and I'm Too Sexy comes on, shut it down. Absolutely shut it down. You know that was his favorite song. I'm too sexy for my shirt. And he was there like, yeah, love your toes, love your eyebrows, love those shoes. Come work PHP.
I got to say, I'm a toe. Your toes are flawless. Those
I'm a
things
toe.
stick around. So when you go on
I'm a toe. Go back.
flawless, I got to say, I'm a toe. Your toes
I'm a toe. Clip this
are
moment.
flawless. Those things stick around. So when you go on the second round and you're coming back, now you got, by the way, you compliment and you move on. On the second round, you get a smile. Then when you get the smile, you say, can I get you a drink?
The worst game. First of all, I'm gonna update this for 2026. Even though I'm old, okay, I'm almost 30 years old. I don't even be in the club anymore. I wasn't even a club goer when I was younger for recreation. I worked in nightlife, so I was never going to the club recreationally to begin with. Never buy a girl. That's a scheme, and that's a whole Ponzi scheme in itself. Buying girls drinks in the club. Never ask a girl, "Can I buy you a drink?" That's how girls go to the club and finesse dudes, get 100 free drinks. And you know, girls have it down to a science. They'll be like, "Do you want to take a shot with us? Do you want to have a drink with us?" And what do they really mean? Buy us shit. Okay, thank you. Bye. And then they run off. I'm too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York, and Japan. I'm too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party. No way I'm disco dancing. That's Pat. I'm a model, you know what I mean, and I do my little turn on the catwalk. That's Pat. That's his favorite part. When he hears that part, he does a turn when he hears that part. Too sexy for my car, too sexy for my car, too sexy by far. Rob, we're making a second round now in the club. You hear the song is still playing. Too sexy for me. Rob, we're making a second round in the club. Let's see who smiles at us.
And when they smile at us, we're going to ask if you want to have a drink. And we're going to go buy them a drink. And then we're going to talk about their toes a little bit. And hopefully they let us have sex with them. Too sexy, my fa. Oh my goodness. The worst.
You get a smile. Then when you get the smile, you say, can I get you a drink? If she's by herself, you get her a drink. There's 19 other girls that are looking at you saying nobody complimented them on that specific area. So this part.
No way you're finding 20 different things to compliment 20 different girls about. Because what happens if you compliment the first girl on her makeup and then you realize that the 18th girl was actually had way better makeup? I used it up already, Rob. Powell Film says I'm dying over here. Oh my goodness. He knows what the right amount of makeup is, Lamau. Just say she looks beautiful, yeah. How did he ever get laid? Holy shit, I'm reading your guys' chats right now. I have secondhand embarrassment. Oh my god. Oh my god. If you say your toes flawless, then yes, they'll assume you're gay. Your toes flawless. There's no way to say your toes flawless without sounding gay, the same way there's no way to say, is that your natural hair color without sounding gay? I'm a toe guy. Jesus Christ. He's getting thrown out of this club yet. It's a freaky set tonight, right? This is a Wendy's. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Oh, when he hears this song, when he hears that, young man, there's no need. He's like, oh, Rob, get to the dance floor right now. There's no need to feel down. Dim. And he has his own moves that he came up with in the mirror at home. Dim, dim, bim, 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 bim. YMCA. Appreciate you, Precision Soundworks Studio. What up, bad dog? He's got a ball of cocaine on an ice cream cone. Oh my god. What up, Dylan? You'd look even better if you put the makeup on your toes, right? Okay. PBD trying to give out game. Jeez Louise. This guy definitely, I mean, there was no way he was getting laid, right? Oh my goodness. Thank you. Ollie Bobby says never buy a woman a drink. So true. I love your toes. You know, when the Shah was in power in Iran, women were allowed to show their toes. After that, you have somebody like Reza Pahlavi. You have the Muslims come in there and they make it so it's a Muslim country. You can't show your toes anymore, right? Okay. Rob, pull up the picture of the Muslim woman's toes. Rob, pull up some toes. Beta David. Macho man. Mind you, his shirt is already off by this point. Macho man.
19.
He's shirtless, totally serious with the sunglasses on, like this. Macho man. Rob, how do I look? Vinny, hold. I think I'm drunk. Macho. Forget about your boyfriend and meet me at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. This is why in his most recent Andrew Tate interview, he was talking about how he would never go to the club if Andrew invited him. And it's like, now we know why. And Paz, that's so fucking hilarious. That's exactly the type of song. And Paz, where have you been in the chat? Where have you been? Where have you been?
What you were about.
Yeah, so true. Can you do a PBD podcast impersonation again? Last one was too good. Funniest shit I've seen in a long time. It's actually a great way to cover current events without getting into anything. Tell you what, I'm working on this April event for the Goons in Toronto where I'm trying to do a live event. It's going to be like a live multi-level misery recording, Q&A session, premiere of a new video, and meet and greet. Come on. So Streamlabs link is in the chat. This is the best way to donate. And I'll tell you, as a bonus, come on now, Ignacio, don't interrupt. You look at Messi's house. Okay, if we fill up this dono goal tonight, because you know what? I wasn't going to do it. But there's hold on. How much do we have left to go on this dono goal? 999 minus 173. We have $826 left to go, divided by 140 people watching. We only need less than $6 per person. So imagine some champion rises up and drops a 20, a 50, a 100. If we fill up that dono goal tonight,
I will expeditiously do another PBD podcast episode with your you can donate and put your recommendations for like a topic, or I'll make up a story. You can be like, you can donate and say, hey, on the next PBD podcast episode, tell a story about the time you blah blah blah. Macho man, so funny. Walking around with his shirt unbuttoned. No, this is the 90s, baby. The shirt is off. And all the girls leave. It's as if he's never talked to a woman before in his life. Exactly. Imagine what he says during... Oh, come on, I can't even read that. Macho man is hilarious. I knew this was cringe at the time, and it did not age well, right? Thank you. Ollie Bobby saying my impression needs to be served to the world. Ignacio, thank you for the super chat. But stop using the super chat, you guys. YouTube is stealing 30% from you. Streamlabs, PayPal. We need a PBD emoji. Yes, we do. Marco, so happy to joining a live stream. Much love from Edmonton. Thank you, Nick Thielen Comedy. I'm also in Edmonton right now. So shout out to you, Nick Thielen. Appreciate you. Macho man. Wow, is this a super chat from Legend Gaming? Legend Gaming, my #1 donator of all time, but hasn't dropped a super chat since, I think it's been a year. Let me check. I'll be heartbroken if it's actually a full year. That would be crazy. Last donation, May 2025. Okay, so we're not quite there, but inshallah. Inshallah, Legend gets his mojo back. Okay. All right, let's continue.
You say, can I get you a drink? If she's by herself, you get her a drink. There's 19 other girls.
Pat's advice, pickup advice, strike out on 20 girls, then buy the 21st. It's funny because in that interview that I just put out a few days ago with Emmanuel, who used to be in PHP, he's talking about how he was instructed to go get 20 no's prospecting people for PHP. And now Patrick, maybe he's just obsessed with the number 20. He's like, we're going to talk to 20 girls, okay?
That are looking at you saying nobody complimented them on that specific area. So this part, it's pretty proven. This is going to help any single guy. If you can get to do this, you'll have a good time. You look forward to going to nightclubs. The other part is if
him smiling at himself. So true, Patrick. Thank you.
If you can get to do this, you'll have a good time. You look forward to going to nightclubs.
Never do this. No, you won't. And don't. And no.
The other part is if you got a...
What do we do to have to get you to do a goon event in Edmonton? Edmonton is just so fucking chopped, bro. Not the people, but just the city itself. I would do it, but honestly, I was a young man once. I don't want the, I don't know. I don't feel good about that. Edmonton just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't like, even a couple of years ago, Nickelback was here in town. Nothing would have happened at the Nickelback concert, but 50 Cent, who's like my favorite rapper of all time, was here doing his 20-year anniversary Get Rich or Die Trying like tour, and I really wanted to go, and I didn't go. I was like, I'm not going to this in Edmonton. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna run into people. Somebody's gonna get shot. There's definitely gonna be a shooting. It's just not good. I'm sorry. We have such a diverse community here in Edmonton. I'll tell you exactly what it would have been at the 50 Cent concert. It was a bunch of like hooligans and middle-aged backpacker hip-hop dudes being like, this is real hip-hop. It was going to be a bunch of Africans and Somalians and Nigerians, and somebody was going to look at somebody the wrong way or make the wrong clicking sound at another person who, in their language, it means something offensive, and now there's a shooting. It's not even a stereotype. Edmonton, good luck having a hip-hop concert where there isn't some sort of stabbing, a shooting, a drug bust. Trust me, I know. Even Jeff, who asked the question, says, yeah, I get it. Okay, so just take my word for it, okay? Just take my word for it. People throwing bottles. Come on. Edmonton ain't it. What was his pickup line for his wife? Oh, God. Will I do a goon event in Edmonton? I don't know. Maybe. I didn't realize there's so many of you in Edmonton. I worked at PHP when this was filmed. It was something we thought was cringy in the office. Pretty sure it was his own idea that was put on the board that everyone hated. I'm sure. PBD, the type of guy to wear a toe ring. Yep. Someone clicks wrong. Oh, a friend of mine recommended I use him as a financial advisor. Do not use the World Financial Group thing. Please don't. Happiness Handmade KC, what up? I have your the stuffy, the Nothing Burger stuffy that you made for me over there. Shout out to Lisa, Happiness Handmade. I still have to get a desk or a little shelf rather to put it and like my YouTube plaque and some other stuff on. If you guys are into crochet, go follow Happiness Handmade KC. Very sweet person and very good at what she does. Very crafty and very positive. So shout out to Lisa. Being Somali while listening to 50 and eating banana and rice is like a really epic evening, though. I'm sure it is.
Crew, this part with the crew is a completely different game plan. When you have
Come to Detroit, says that girl, Sam. Yeah. You guys just want me to pop out in all the places I'm the most likely to get shot or stabbed, huh? Yo, fam, come out to Scarborough. Still, 2-2 is my word, fam. You'll be blessed. I'm good. Thank you, Pressa.
a crew, I'm working for you. So, for instance, I'm not flirting. I'm for a crew.
Look at what a stud.
Crew, this part with the crew is a completely different game plan. When you have a crew, I'm working for you.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, for instance, I'm not flirting. I'm flirting for you. I'm not flirting for me. So, we'd go to a club and, you know, you
This is the last guy I would want as a wingman.
would say,
Did you imagine Patrick being your wingman in the club? He goes up to a girl that you like. Man, I really want to talk to that girl, but I'm nervous. Pat's like, don't worry about it. I got it. He goes up to her. He's like, you see that guy over there? $50 billion. He would say some shit like that. See that guy right there? Okay. $50 billion. Okay. That's number one. What do you mean $50 billion? That's all I'm going to say. I'll just keep wandering around WEM in hopes that I run into you. You won't. I promise. You won't. Come out to upstate New York. You'd be fine here. New York! I'm the king of New York. Of course I would. I will, Bad Dog. Thank you. Come to Dearborn. At least say what's up. Yeah, I'll go. You know what? I'll go to Dearborn and we'll pull up to Ali Soub's restaurant. You know, the Lebanese guy who always posts the cringy shit on Instagram.
who are the three girls here you like? And you'd say the girl in the green. I said, who else? That one over there. Okay, who else? Okay, let me get to work. So then I'm going. Am I?
Mind you, the question was, did you have any addictions? And now we're on this rant about how to pick up chicks. Rob, pull up the woman on the screen.
Language is very easy because my language is going to be, hey, look, I got to tell you, I'm good. I got a girl, but my buddy here who's standing right over there thinks you're hot, cat bit his tongue. You know, he kind of wants to get to know you. I've been telling him to go, but he can't, you know, he's trying to face his fears. And would you mind?
Making your boy sound like a complete fucking pussy, by the way. What a terrible wingman script. Yeah, I've got a girl, but my friend over there, he's really scared to talk to you because he lacks self-confidence and he doesn't have the charisma to do it. But he's very nervous, okay? And he wants to talk to you, but he doesn't know how to do it. So that's why I'm talking to you. Hopefully you could go give him some charity box, okay? And he has $50 billion. It's like, don't say that. Lie. If you're my boy, call me. If you see me going to talk to a girl, I want you to go out. No, here's the deal. Here's what it is. If I'm on a date with a girl, I'm going to send my boy the code word. He's going to call me. I'm going to answer on speaker. Yo. That's how I answer. Yo. Me and Fidel would do this totally, by the way. I would answer, yo. He'd be like, hey, yo, can I borrow $10 million? I'd be like, yeah, no doubt. Got you. That's what I would do. Or he would call me and he'd be like, I'd be like, yo. He'd be like, yo, I just want to thank you again for that 50 bands you lent me. We beat the case. I got custody of my son. I'll get you back when I have a chance. I'll be like, don't even worry about it. He'll be like, man, you're him. I'll be like, I got you. Anyways, I gotta run. I'm on an important meeting right now, and I wink at the girl. I'm in an important meeting right now. She's like, are you crazy? I hang up. That's it. Make it up. Say some fly shit. Don't say, okay, so you look at my friend over there, right? That's Rob. He's a total bitch. Zero confidence, okay? Why would you listen? Let's listen in his own words.
My buddy here who's standing right over there thinks you're hot.
Pointing at you. You're standing there with your drink like this. Is it working?
Cat bit his tongue. You know, he kind of wants to get to know you. I've been telling him to go, but he can't, you know, he's trying to face his fears. And would you mind?
He's trying to face his fears. Like you're talking about your son being scared to pet somebody's dog at the park. That's the pitch. That's what it's giving right now.
If you and I go together with them, and if I can make the introduction, would that be okay with you? And would you mind if you and I go together with them, and if I can make the introduction, would that be okay with you?
You get the girl back to your place. You're doing your thing. Pat has his hand on your shoulder. He's like, "That's it. Not too fast. Not too slow. All right. You're looking like $50 billion." You know, when somebody says you look like $1 million? Nuh-uh, not Patrick. You look like $50 billion. You look like Messi when he's living down the street from my house and someone is watching his boat and my daughter plays soccer with his...
Even if it's just a conversation. Oh, yeah, okay. 1 out of 3 times it worked.
1 out of 3? You're not even flexing good stats. At least lie. Think about what this guy just said. How far have we watched? We're not even fucking 20 minutes into this thing. Compliment 20 girls on 20 different things. Tell them you love your toes because I love toes. By the way, emasculate your friends so that you can impress chicks covertly. What are we talking about here?
Oh, yeah, okay. 1 out of 3 times it worked.
He says to himself.
So, and I didn't get rejected, right? So I go there, I make the pitch, I come back, I make the presentation, I make the connection. Then it's on you on what you're going to do with the words, because now it's fully on you to be able to, you know, build a conversation and get him going. But those 2 strategies, if I tell you...
Nobody would have him on the show, so he's like, I'll do it. I think it was COVID, and he couldn't get in-person guests, something like that, because this was released the beginning of April, so he probably filmed it in March, right after the lockdown. You should do a multi-level misery compilation, try to get interviews from as many volunteers from the audience, and make it like a binge video. That could be cool. But we're not going to do it if we never fill up this goddamn Bumba Pussy Ross Claw goal.
If you were part of my crew, you're going to have a good time. That's all I can tell you.
There won't be any coke left over for you because it's all going in my nostrils, but we're going to have a good time, all right? Watch when you see me doing laps around the club, complimenting girls and smiling at them, okay? And then 1 out of 3 times, I'm going to say something that makes you look bad, but it's going to work out.
You had a great time. And by the way...
Pat so strikes me as the guy who's like... I saw this meme the other day that I was like, this is Patrick but David, where it's like, dudes spend $1,000 flying to Atlanta and going to the club and booking a hotel just to stand around and say, damn, she bad. You know, dudes go stand in the club, you know, just standing there and then post on their Snap story, last night was a movie. That's what I imagine. Pat and his boys going out. Macho, macho man. And everyone, and he's like sweating and stinky, and everybody is coked out, and everybody's sick of him. That was an incredible night. Wow, wow, wow. Rob, Vinny, Tom, Adam. What an incredible night I had with you. Adam's still doing coke. He's like, yeah, Pat, I really loved it. Israel.
There's a proven record of this. I had friends from high school who would fly into the military just to come and spend a week with me. They all went back wanting to come back to the military because we did this in a very effective fashion. I'm sure you made a lot of single guys happy with that strategy. Good luck to you.
Kill me now, God. Dear God in heaven, if you exist, strike me down with fire and fury at this moment so that I don't have to live with this level of cringe, because it's something I've never felt before. Young man, there's no need to be down, I said, young man. When Patrick's around, he'll talk to women on your behalf.
So you know how you often talk about Germany. How was that experience for you? You know, when you lived at the refugee camp, is it good memories, bad memories? What was it like living in Germany at the refugee camp? Germany to me is, I mean, I can't wait to go back because it's one of my fondest memories of my life.
Now that she thinks you're a total wimp, it's all on you, nice.
Oh, $50 billion.
Everything about Germany was good to me. I lived at a refugee camp, and we got so close. At this refugee camp, I learned so much about human nature because we had people there from Yugoslavia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Poland.
What a pivot from talking about being a degenerate in your youth in the club to now talking about the wholesomeness and of learning about human nature in a refugee camp. Only Patrick Bet-David could come up with this.
Russia, Czech Republic at the time, Albania, and all of us were together. So imagine living in a community together for a year and a half, and some are sent back, some stay, some leave, some get citizenship, some don't. You're seeing this whole hardship, and we got very, very close, to the point where I have a relationship with some of them from the refugee camp, and that was in '89. I still have a relationship with some of the people till today. And then, you know, Germany was also a part where my dad officially wasn't around me. So that's when I realized. Now,
By the way, oh shit, the dono alert isn't coming up. My bad. Somebody did donate. Ignacio Larios and Antonio Ruff. My bad. I didn't realize that the alert wasn't on. It is now. On your PBD episode, reenact an old valuetainment episode where he talks about nothing. Okay, got you. I can do that. Thank you for the Streamlabs. $4. $4 billion. And Ignacio just now, sorry, that was like 9 minutes ago. I lived in Iran for 11 years. Come to Pyongyang. Yeah, thank you.
you don't have a father figure in your life. There was no dad in Germany. Dad came straight to US. So I had to learn to man up very, very quickly in Germany. And I think that was an edge because I had to learn how to make money. I had to learn how to make friends. I had to learn how to fight. I had to learn how to defend myself. I had to learn how to defend my family. When our back's against the wall, you have the instinct to want to protect your family. You see, all the instincts are in here. It's pulling those instincts out. And sometimes to pull out the right instincts requires some travesty or crisis or challenges to go through. And when you don't have a father that's around you and your parents don't have money, you got to figure out a way to go out there and make the money. If Germany doesn't happen, I don't know if I have the experience and the toughness that I have today because of living at that camp for 2 years. Really? But memories, incredible memories. So look, you know, every guest on Valuetainment.
I'm going to do something that's probably that I shouldn't do, and I'm going to go look at the comments because they're probably positive. Even during a quarantine, this man finds a way to bring heavy hitters to the table. This interview was so well edited, it actually felt like two people talking. Oh my God, these people are retarded. The interview we all waited for. Should I interview myself? Bet. Pat is such a good interviewer that when he was asking questions, I forgot he was interviewing himself. I praise the guy who had to edit this. Well, he's here in the chat right now, right? Powwow Films. Need Joe Rogan to do the same in the internet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Kill me, Lord Jesus. PBD almost spills out his foot fetish and giggles, meanwhile realizing. Oh my God. This guy always has a trick up his sleeve. Truly a creative mind. Been following since 2K followers. Don Williams. Jesus Christ. I see a lot of me in you. I gotta tell you, I'm a toe guy. I want to see dancing clips from back in the days too. Or even a today clip. Like, do some dancing for us today, Pat. It was very efficient the way we did it. I was a great dancer. Were you? I can imagine that actually in your memory is sullied by the drugs and alcohol. And actually you were a terrible dancer and it wasn't a well-oiled machine at all. This video got 300,000 views, Mr. There Is No Spoon. And thumbs up the ting as well, y'all, because there's 150 people watching, only 100 likes. Make it make sense.
That's been interviewed. One, the common question is, who were you in high school? So having said that, who were you in high school? Who was I in high school? It's a good question. Who was I in high school? So in high school, I was actually I never had a girlfriend in high school, by the way. It's one thing.
Shocker.
Most people don't know. I never had a girlfriend. I wasn't the ladies' man in high school. That came military, not in high school. So in high school, I was probably the guy that hung out and got along with everybody.
Then I'm at Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter.
I got along with the gangsters. I got along with the kids that were regular, middle. I got along with athletes. I got along with the cool guys. I got along with the nerds. I got along with the teachers for the most part, outside of Miss Rose, who gave me a D in ceramics. It made no sense to me when she gave me a D in ceramics. But I got along almost with everybody. And till today, I'm
That clearly said C, did it not?
in ceramics. But I got along almost with everybody. And till today, I'm one of my pen pals. I write a letter. I'm a pen pal to my health and guidance teacher till today, Miss Sinclair. Her and I write letters to each other. I mean, she's the reason why I joined the Army. 14 years old, I'm 41, was 27 years ago. And we write letters. She'll tell me, here's what's going on with my chickens, because she's got chickens, you know, and she loves animals, and she's got all this stuff that we go back and forth. But I speak to my math teacher, Mr. Woods, and he'll send Armenian messages to me because he's a white guy that tries to speak Armenian. But in high school, I was a guy that lifted weights. I was a guy that had a good physique. I was a guy that worked out. I was a guy that was obsessed with wanting to be Mr. Olympia. I was that guy in high school. Didn't play organized sports. Wasn't a big GPA guy. I was a 1.8 GPA guy. And
Good Lord.
every time I went to school, I would sell something. And after high school, I was working at Haagen-Dazs. So if it wasn't money or working or weightlifting or bodybuilding, there wasn't a lot in my life at that time. Let me ask you, did you consider yourself a...
Yeah, I guess I did steal that story about being friends with everyone growing up. I guess I did steal it from Patrick. I didn't even realize. Because that was actually me. I did get along with everybody.
pretty confident high school student? I think if you ask my friends if I was confident, they'll probably tell you there's an element of confidence and there's an element of worry. You know,
Look at that nose. Look at that nose. That is a beak. This guy looks like Toucan Sam from the side. Nosferatu.
element of I don't know if
Nosferatu, sorry.
I'm going to make it out of this or not, and I don't know what the future holds. But at the same time, one thing everybody will say is, I was always a dreamer. Always. Everything was about, hey, you know, what do you want to do one day in your life? You got 4 options. Which one would you rather choose? Being a billionaire, being the best basketball player in the world, being the best performer in the world, or being the best actor in the world? Who would you want to be? And we'd have this conversation. Imagine if one day this happens to you, what would you do? So the dreaming component was always there. The confidence was always there. I was always concerned about my mom, my sister, who's my sister going to be dating, my dad's health. Those were my concerns at the time, because the 3 people that mattered the most to me at that point in my life was my mom, my sister, and my dad.
No, this is not a parody. This is real. He really posted this, dude. Also, yes, Massia HM. Yeah, his videos could be a fraction of the length if he just didn't jump from one tangent to another and mention random, obscure, unimportant facts.
Those 3, I thought about them a lot, and then it was everything else. So I know you said earlier you never really had any kind of addictions as a kid, or, you know, up to 18 in high school. Never, no. Did you ever have any experiences with drugs as an adult? I did, and I'll tell you each time when I did. So one time, I think we were at the Mayan, and my buddies, I'm combining alcohol and I'm combining beer and everything together, and it's after the Army. And one of my buddies says, here, throw this ecstasy, and he gave me half a pill of ecstasy. I have no idea what kind it was, but he gave me half a pill of ecstasy. And he gave it to me, and I took it, and it had the worst reaction for me. We went to this Jack in the Box right across the street from Conrad's in Glendale, and we parked the car in front of the tree. The tree looked like a unicorn chasing me. I mean, it's like...
Not you filming yourself fake laughing to a fake interview with yourself that you set up.
Completely dumbfounded, saying, why is this unicorn chasing me? And my buddy's like, that's a tree, it's not a unicorn. So it had a complete different reaction for me.
Fun fact, I was just in Glendale last week filming a podcast. Literally a week ago today, I was doing a podcast with these Armenian guys who have interviewed Patrick before. And I thought we were going to talk about a bunch of stuff on the podcast, but it ended up just being that the one guy, one of the co-hosts, said that he used to be in World Financial Group for 2 years and that he had his own multi-level marketing company at one point, and just him yelling at me for 2 hours about how I was wrong about MLMs being scams. And me just debunking every one of the logical fallacies he used. Like, it was actually embarrassing. He even used the everything is multi-level, your family is multi-level argument. He even tried to use that against me. It's like, bro, have you watched any of my videos? Like, it was not good. I'll be happy if they put out the podcast, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decide not to put it out because of how bad that guy came off.
And it's not good when your friends.
This guy's brain is cracked. Who isn't in the painting behind him? Mr. There Is No Spoon. The Shah of Iran, Milton Friedman, Senna, Martin Luther King, Tupac. Based if true, what up? I've never met someone who has zero inflection and so little consistency in their speech pattern. Basically an NPC, right? Absolutely can't believe you've done this. Just broke the cringe scale. This is so hard to watch. Oh, we're watching it. We're watching it.
Shrooms and they're trying everything and you're trying to kind of hold it together. So I don't even know if it was a unicorn or what it was, but I can tell you from that day I said, don't ever give me any kind of ecstasy. And what's so funny is one of my very good friends was a guy that was one of the biggest dealers of ecstasy in America. He sold probably 100,000 at a time. And he was very good at what he did, one of the biggest partiers out there. And then I smoked pot, but if I smoked pot, it was a few times with a girl I was with is when I smoked pot. And the experience with pot was complete opposite. It was a very, very different experience. It just slowed me down, and I don't want to slow down. But it was something that made me think less, and I know some people get panic and they start having the paranoia when they're smoking weed. Complete opposite effect on me. But that was 21, 22, 23 years old.
It was a big toe chasing him. He would have loved that. He would have ran towards it.
And then I used to be a bodyguard for 2 or 3 weeks for one of the biggest dealers in LA for cocaine. So a couple times he said, you got to see the product I got. I tried that. I said, this is the worst drug for me because I'm already here. You want me to do this? I'm going to go here. Not going to happen. But outside of that, nothing else. That was my experience. So out of those
right
3, I can tell you the only one that may have a positive effect on me is probably weed. All the other ones, no effect.
Yeah, where's the bingo card for real? What up, Sam here? Y'all better salute the mods when you see them in the chat. Members too, but mods more so, because you can buy a membership. You can get gifted a membership. Mods, you only get that through blood, sweat, and tears and commitment to the cult and doing the blood moon, full moon ceremony. So, thumbs up the thing. Oh shit, I didn't mean to drop that link again.
No positive effect. Definitely no positive effect. Definitely a negative effect. So that's kind of how my body reacts to it. Let me ask you, have you ever experienced anybody like a friend or
LOL, even him like doing the stuttering on purpose.
family losing the battle of addiction to any drugs?
Go Jets go in the chat with a hilarious comment. Says, I'm waiting for the camera to pan to the guy in charge of production, and it's just another copy of him. That would be so funny if we get another shot, and it's another Patrick Bet-David holding the boom mic. There's another one of him with the headphones on, like adjusting levels, like switching between the camera angles, like how Joe Rogan has Jamie, but it's him again. Hilarious.
Diego Vega donated 13 Canadian dollars and 57 cents. Streamlabs test.
Yeah, Sam here with the blood emoji in the hand because you have to cut your hand open to do the blood ceremony to become a mod. Thank you, Sam here. Yes, and thank you, Mr. Vega from Zorro for the Streamlabs test. Yes, it worked. Look at this. We're already basically 20% of the way there, aren't we? Diego Vega, Senor de la Vega.
Yourself, when I speak on stage, I've gotten emotional 4 times. Any drugs? Yourself, when I speak on stage, family losing the battle of addiction to any drugs.
Okay.
Yourself, when I speak on stage, I've gotten emotional 4 times. When I speak on stage, 4 times I've gotten emotional to the point where I can't control myself, and I don't know, like, it really has gotten the best of me. I think Mario's probably witnessed 3 of them when he's seen this happen. And out of the 4 times that this has happened where it's been absolute losing control of emotions, 3 of them is because of a friend, Armin.
Armin. I wonder if that's the Armin that got mad at me.
Armin was a...
Ayo. This pose with his boys. Ayo. Armin is the name of the Armenian guy that I just that just yelled at me recently for saying World Financial Group was, he was trying to tell me World Financial Group is not a scam. DV Vega says, real name is Kevin, but Zorro was sentimental growing up. Oh, I was actually right with the Zorro reference? Senor de la Vega. Yeah, I fuck with Zorro. People don't know about Zorro, but he's dope. That's cool.
Who's in control of emotions. 3 of them is because of a friend, Armin. Armin was a very good friend. Armin was a very talented guy. I love the guy. I love him till I think about him till today. He was a funny guy. He was a prank guy. He was a brilliant guy. He was a, fun guy to be around, business guy. He wanted to make money. He wanted to do something. He wanted to make his parents proud. And at the same time, he was chippy. He liked breaking the rules, and he got caught up on Vicodin, and Vicodin got the best of him. I took him to multiple different places, to rehabilitation centers, and we went all over the place. But when that day happened, when I got the call, I couldn't tell you. It's probably May 5th, 05, and that one really was a tough one. So yeah, I have lost friends to it.
He's going to do a roast of himself by himself next, yep.
And that's one of them. I have a handful of stories like that. Another one is a recent one that happened that was over cocaine. And it was one of my very good friends who happened to also be one of our leaders in the company who got caught up in that as well. That was painful. I went to Miami to the funeral, but I have a handful of those stories that are painful, but yes, I've seen it happen. And it's not fun, especially when it's a friend and a family member that happens to. That's unbelievable. Wow.
Unbelievable. This is something Kanye you would expect from like 2006 Kanye.
Let me ask you, how did you go about joining the Army? Is there a story behind it? So when I got out of high school, I went to 1 semester of Glendale Community College, and then I went to the Army. A week after my mom went back to Iran, she said, you have a couple of choices. You can come back to Iran with me or go stay here. I said, I'm going to stay here. I went to my sister. I said, let me live with you for a month. She said, no problem. I gave her my computer and paid her rent money. One day, I woke up after partying until 4 o'clock in the morning with my friends downstairs at the sauna, and we were drinking heavily. I'm 18 years old at this time. And this is when I started partying. Right the moment I left high school, that's when the partying started. And that day for me, when that happened, I woke up in the morning, I went downstairs to my car. My mom left me a Toyota Corolla 1983, and the car wasn't there. So I called the cops. I'm like, the car's not here. Is it stolen? 6 months later, they contact me telling me the car was in Rosarita. So somebody stole the car and went straight to Mexico with the car. But then when they stole the car, I got a hangover. I don't feel like going to Glendale Community College or going to my job at Burger King. I called my dad. I said, Dad, take me to the recruiting station in Glendale. We went to Glendale. My recruiter was Jesus Guerra. I said, Jesus, if you can get me to go to the Army tomorrow, I'll sign up right now. He says, I can't get you tomorrow. He says, it's going to take 90 days. I said, I'm not signing up if it's 90 days. 2 weeks later, I was in South Carolina, and I went into the Army. It's the story. So when it comes down to your peers, if we were to talk to any of your peers from the Army, what identity did you have? Who were you amongst your peers? I was the
Unbelievable indeed, right?
leader of the group. That part
We found the guy who stole your car. It's a picture of himself. Yeah, from now on, everyone is him. Like, even when they pull up these pictures of the military, every face is him.
is a definite.
You guys look away from the stream for a second. You look back. I'm also him.
Definite. It didn't matter if you were a sergeant or not. I was the leader of the group. If we went to the club, if we went to the gym, if a fight was to break out, if something were to happen, I think they would say I was the leader of the group. And I'm in contact with most of them. So if you were to talk to them, they'd probably tell you that as well. So if we were going to a club, we're going to go to the club that...
So weird. I just got a comment on my video, on one of my streams from a commenter, a subscriber who I know for a fact they subscribe to me. I've seen this account comment on my channel several times. And I just get a notification of a new comment from this person saying, why has YouTube automatically unsubscribed me? I just realized that from your recent live, Patrick interviewing himself. Okay, so she's watching this. Y'all double check if you are actually still subscribed. Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and do that, because I get comments like this all the fucking time, and I wonder why it is that YouTube does this. It doesn't make sense. Can't believe you've done this, YouTube. So check.
I had in mind that we wanted to go to. And it was typically a good move when I chose the club, because we're going to have a good time when we go to the club. You know, typically for people who were in the military, they all have a lot of crazy stories. What were some of your craziest stories of being in the Army? There's a lot of them that I don't want to share, but I'll give you one of them. I mean, my buddy had a truck, an F-150 truck. You know, we wanted to get 6 guys with us to go to Panama City. Now you got to realize the drive is a 9-hour drive. and you can only fit 3 people in the cabin. And we have clothes to take with us because a weekend in the military is called a danza. Danza is a 4-day weekend. They call it a danza. Everybody wanted a danza. So we get in the truck. I'm sitting in the truck, and my friend, and then Jeff, who's driving the truck, Bradford. But there was 3 guys laying in the back. No padding, nothing. But because you wanted to go to Panama City to go to Club La Vila and Spinnakers, you were willing to make the sacrifice. And the best part about these trucks was when we're driving and there were bumps. Because when there's bumps, these guys are, you know, they're flying high. And it was probably not safe thing to do, but you're in the military, you're not thinking a lot. And then one time we went through this tornado and rain, which was great because all our clothes got wet. So by the time we got to Panama City, everyone's clothes is wet, all of it. And the guy.
What was even the fucking question that prompted this story?
Everybody want a danza, okay?
Yeah. Oh, Reborn in the chat. What up?
Everybody wanted a danza. Is this actually Reborn?
Reborn, the other goat. Yeah, it is. Okay. The other goat, Patrick Bet-David impersonator here. Shout out to Reborn. He just posted one today where he's pretending to be. He has one where he's Bill Gates. Dude, his fucking Bill Gates is so good.
Well, I'm really sorry about being friends with Jeffrey Epstein. It's really not in my moral character. Anyway, I'm developing a new disease that kills everyone. Yeah, it had
Such a good fucking Bill Gates.
nothing to do with Epstein.
Shaboy.
The Rock was
Girls thought you were the richest one there.
definitely in the building. Yup. I'm gonna be honest, I was in those goddamn files. Have you seen my
Oh, it's covering up, but this is obviously Bill Clinton.
wife? And you know what? I'm a double. No blacks
So
were
true.
allowed. I mean, and we love blacks, but
Where's the Stephen
not
Hawking?
at my Epstein party.
I was desperate. Do you think girls like a physics gooner that's paralyzed in a wheelchair? I just pray.
Retarded.
You're retarded, bro. Everybody wanted a danza. That's number one, okay? Yeah, everybody's clothes is wet.
What was even the question that prompted this?
Truck. I'm sitting in the 6.
Okay. We wanted 6 guys. No, we wanted 9 guys to go to fucking Panama City. I was in the military.
If we were to talk to any of your peers from the Army, what identity did you have? Who were you amongst your peers?
I like how he set up, mind you, he's interviewing himself, right? So he set up this question for himself just so that he could then monologue about how he was the leader of the pack. So he's like, this is like his covert way of just bragging about how he was the alpha of the
The
pack.
fight was to break out. If some
Okay, and then
people in the camp
and then he just goes on about the fucking
realized that a lot of them that I don't want to share, but I'll give you one that we wanted to go to. And it was typically a good move when I chose the club because we're going to have a good time when we go to the club. You know, typically for people who were in the military, they all have a lot of crazy stories. What were some of your craziest story of being in the Army? There's a lot of them that I don't want to share, but I'll give you one of them. I mean, my buddy had a
I was too hungover to go to work at Burger King, so I went to the Army instead. So, you know, make it up. More full of shit than chicken coop. YouTube unsubscribes you from people all the time. It's insane.
truck, an F-150 truck. You know, we wanted to get 6 guys.
Okay, so hold on. Whose truck was it?
What were some of your craziest story of being in the Army? There's a lot of them that I don't want to share, but I'll give you one of them. I mean, my buddy had a truck, an F-150 truck. You know,
Okay, his buddy had it. Someone asked him about the Shah. Just wait.
Yeah, somebody asked him about the Shah 45 minutes ago, and now he's talking about going.
Everybody wanted a danza. Is it a danza or is it a normal weekend?
we wanted to get 6 guys with us to go to Panama City. Now you got to realize the drive is a 9-hour drive, and you can only fit 3 people in the cabin. And we have clothes to take with us because a weekend in the military is called a danza. Danza is a 4-day weekend. They call it a danza. Everybody wants.
Thank God Kamala didn't go on the podcast circuit when they were when it was her and Trump in the race, because if she had made it on Patrick Bet-David, it would have been a battle of the word salads, you know.
Wanted a danza. So we get in the truck. I'm sitting in the truck, and my friend, and then Jeff, who's driving the truck, Bradford. But there was 3 guys laying in the back. No padding, nothing. But because you wanted to go to Panama City to go to Club La Vila and Spinnakers, you were willing to make the sacrifice. And the best part about these trucks was when we're driving and there were bumps. Because when there's bumps, these guys are, you know, they're flying high. And it was probably not safe thing to do, but you're in the military. You're not thinking a lot.
F-150 truck. Oh my God.
And then one time we went through this tornado and rain, which was great because all our clothes got wet. So by the time we got to Panama City, everyone's clothes is wet, all of it.
Everyone's clothes is wet. Yeah. How many decades do you have to be in a primarily English-speaking country in America before you actually start speaking proper English?
And the guys in the back are sitting in a puddle for 4 or 5 hours going 70 miles an hour. And, fortunately, nothing happened. Obviously, I don't know.
So you tortured your boys in the back for 9 hours, and this is like the best story.
Advise that for anybody, although I know a lot of people will if you're in the military. But that's one of the stories. But in the military, you're not thinking a lot. It's just constantly trying to push the envelope in another thing, and everything's a dare. I dare you to do it. I thought you were tough. I thought you had it in you. I thought you called yourself a party guy. What was this all about? I am. Then if you are, get in the back of the truck. Let's go. It's constantly trying to challenge you. And, if you didn't.
Oh, Reborn, you got to rewind the stream to when I was doing the bit after. You got to rewind and watch the bit where I was impersonating Patrick in the club in the 90s because he was talking about how he was like a ladies' man. And earlier in this interview with himself, he's giving like pickup dating advice. You got to watch the earlier. Macho man. Yeah.
Take the challenge, then you're going to be for a whole week called out for being a pansy, for not wanting to take up the challenge. So you're either going to take the challenge, and if you don't, you're going to hear it from everybody for a week. So you almost have to say, I'll get in the back of the truck. I'll take one for the team. But that's one of the crazy stories we have. This one may be a curveball for you.
Bet you won't put your wiener in my mouth. Hey, yo. Chill out.
But I just have to ask because it comes up. I'll see you post pictures right on Instagram, and you'll post a picture of some videos, some cut from this, and then all of a sudden there's pictures of somewhat semi-half naked pictures of you. What era of your life was this, and what's the story between these semi-naked pictures that you have online? What do you mean? Nothing's on social media. These are pictures I took years ago. But some of them maybe I'm posing. Yes, there's probably going to be some of them that I'm posing.
Oh my God.
Because back in 1999, I think I did a photo shoot.
I always wanted to do a skit of him spitting game to girls at a bar. It's funny because I recorded a couple of clips tonight on the stream that I'm going to edit down later where he's like giving advice of how to talk to a girl. And I was doing sort of a bit where he's like, in this clip, he's saying like, compliment the girl about something that she worked hard on. Okay, so compliment her eyebrows or her makeup. Okay. And then I was like, me building on it, I was like, I love your makeup. It's the perfect amount. By the way, when I was in the military, and then he goes on to some nonsense. It's so easy. But yeah, definitely do it.
March of 2000 at
A curveball. What have the other questions been? Oh my God.
Marina Del Rey, okay? And some of the photo shoots was being done because of a direction I was going in my life with.
This dude was definitely a fucking stripper at a gay club, right? I mean, the interview starts with him talking about being a dancer, a good dancer, and he evades his own question that he's asking to himself in this pre-scripted interview where he doesn't answer whether he was dancing for a living, like getting paid to dance or not. And now he's, come on, man, the homoeroticism of these pics.
And some of the photo shoots was being done because of a direction I was going in my life with entertainment, and we took those photos. But
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? The photos was being taken because of a direction I was going in my life, entertainment. What are you talking about, my boy?
Done because of a direction I was going in my life with entertainment, and we took those photos. But that was a long time ago. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a funny story. One time, I had a picture.
I'm not gay no more. Oh shit! I fucking fast forward.
I needed a job, so I called my sister. I said I need a job, and
hold on, go back. Where was it? Fuck, I skipped it by accident. I'm not gay no more.
And some of the photo shoots was being done because of a direction I was going in my life with entertainment, and we took those photos.
Okay, some of the photo shoots. Jeez Louise, dude.
But that was a long time ago. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a funny story. One time, I had a picture in my closet or something like that, And I asked one of my coworkers to go to my room and grab something, and they accidentally saw some of the pictures. Obviously, they should have never seen the pictures. They were sitting there. And let's just say the reactions were pretty exciting. I wish I had a video to record the reactions.
So happy to have to hear his own story. I love when it cuts back to the interviewer of him. Also, is the interviewer him not supposed to be him? Because you would know the answers to your own questions if it's you asking them, right? But the suspension of disbelief that they're presenting in this video is that we're supposed to assume or infer that the interviewer version of Patrick doesn't know the answer to the question that the interviewee Patrick is answering, right? Because there's been questions that he's answering and the interviewer Patrick is like, "Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay." So is it's supposed to be like he's a different character, or in this world the Patrick asking the questions is Patrick Bet-David but doesn't actually know any of his own lore. He just knows how to ask questions.
But yeah, there's some crazy pictures out there, but I have them. The world shouldn't have it. Me and my photographer have them.
Hey, yo. Dude, I like how he showed like a frame of this. He shows this for like a few frames. Look, I'm playing this on normal speed.
Me and my photographer have them.
What the fuck? Dude, what on earth?
There, but I have them. The world shouldn't have it. Me and my photographer have them.
Oh no. I can't believe you've done this, Patrick. Why would... Okay, so he said he was taking these pictures because of a certain direction he was going in his life entertainment-wise. What kind of entertainment? Unless you were auditioning to play like some underwater Aquaman type character, there's no other application of a photo like this, in my opinion, other than you were trying to be a gay stripper or like a Chippendales dancer, but mostly a gay stripper. This is insane.
So what was your transition from leaving the military to going into sales? Because, you know, those are...
This is so very true, Reborn. He's a narcissist. That's why he's able to scam others with no remorse. Javier, my last $5 until Friday. Loving the life. Thank you. You remind me of Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2, where Mr. Ditkovich is like, rant! And Peter says, all I've got is this 20 for the week. Thank you. I appreciate you. so fucking rude. Nah, thank you. I do appreciate you. Male escort for males. Yes, so true.
Complete two different worlds. Where did the sales component come
in? What do you mean he pulled a Drake? Somebody in the chat said he pulled a Drake. We not tolerating no Drake slander in here. Come on now.
To going into sales, because, you know, those are complete two different worlds. Where did the sales component come in? So when I got out of the military, I needed a job. So I called my sister. I said, I need a job. And she got me a job at Bally Total Fitness. She got me an interview with Lynetta and...
Take a shot. Bally's mentioned. Take a shot.
Ophelia and Donnell. These three guys interviewed me. I got hired. I went to the training program, came back. They placed me at Culver City working with Cisco. And that's when I got into sales. It was a slow start the first month, but then Cisco was patient with me, giving me the right direction. I was working with a good team with Dexter, Molina, Rimmer, you know, Joe, Silvio.
We don't need to know the names, dude.
We had a great squad of guys to work with. And a big influence on my sales career started from
trying to meet the word count of your essay.
Culver City Bally's. Why don't people like sales, by the way? Why do you think people don't like sales? If you're selling a product you don't believe in, you're probably not going to like sales. But if you're selling a product you believe in, I guarantee it's going to be a different way you look at sales because you believe in the product. So think about whatever your favorite car is, whatever your favorite brand is, clothes is, and you've never sold before. If a person wants to go in sales, just make a list of what products you like. Then you want to get into sales, go sell that, you know, or, you know, find somebody that you're working with. So one is the product, the other one is finding somebody you work with, because sometimes sales managers, some of them are bad. And if you work for a bad sales manager who doesn't know how to get the best out of you and work you and challenge you and push you, sometimes you're not going to do good. So it's either find products that you fully believe in to sell, or it's find sales leaders that you can work closely with that can bring out the best in you and challenge you. You find those two, it's going to end up working out for you. You mean everything in life is sales? Everything in life is sales. Yes, everything is. So it doesn't matter if it's relationship, parenting, business, wanting a promotion, your girl, your boy, your husband, your wife, your parents, every aspect of life is all selling. And if you show me anybody that's being left behind in a family, in a job, for a promotion and anything, it's somebody that doesn't know how to sell themselves. If you learn how to sell yourself and you deliver, you're probably going to have a better life than somebody that doesn't know how to sell themselves and they deliver. But you got to learn how to sell yourself. It gives you an upper advantage, an unfair advantage in the marketplace when you know how to communicate a message and deliver it to people. Can you talk about your first sale? What was it like? When I was at Culver City Mall and I'm walking around trying to sell memberships, and then she walks up and we start talking. She was so nice to me, young, attractive girl. We started talking. She bought the membership. I called Cisco. I said, Cisco, I just sold my first membership. And I couldn't believe she said yes, $75 down, $32 a month at the time. And that was the beginning of many more sales to be made. You ended up going to one of the worst locations in Bally's that wasn't performing that well, and then you turned it into one of the best performance gyms. What happened there? Yeah, so I got a call from Robbie Solomon saying you ought to go work at Chatsworth Bally's. Now, Chatsworth, if you don't know where Chatsworth is, Chatsworth at the time produced 80% of all the porn around the world. So most of our customers were porn stars. Now, if you were a Chatsworth member,
I'm seeing a thread here. Chatsworth, the porn capital, those weird pictures he was taking, talking about a certain direction he was trying to go in entertainment, talking about his love for girls and dancing and clubbing and chasing girls. Could it be that Patrick Bet-David, prior to becoming an MLM scammer, actually was trying to become an adult film star? That seems like I'm just putting little clues together here, right? It would have been certainly better. Obviously, nobody wants to see that, but it certainly would have been better for the world if he had done that instead. It would have had a better impact on the world than him being a notorious MLM scammer. But wow.
I'm not telling you we're a porn star, but I'm telling you most of our customers were porn stars. So if you worked there, you had to learn how to communicate with the community, because every market is how you talk to the community. Selling memberships in Hollywood on El Centro was very different than selling memberships in Oxnard Bally's when it opened up versus the Bally's you sold in Culver City, then the one in Chatsworth. You can't speak the same language to the customers there. The Democrats.
Yeah. The porn that he does is just him in all the shots. It's just solo videos of him yanking it in the mirror.
Graphics different, so you got to
American Psycho type shit when he's looking in the mirror.
learn to adjust and speak their language. But when I went there, the club was hitting 42%. When I left, it was 125% of the goals every single month, because we worked on a script, we worked on the language, we worked on the culture, we walked around the club, we said hello to our guests, we shook hands with the guests, we spotted the guests, can I help you with this? And that created an environment where guests wanted to give us referrals. They would bring people in. Hey, my buddy also wants to be a member. I was telling him about you. Hey, my girlfriend wants to come. My mom and dad are here. And everybody started showing up because people were glad to be part of a gym that was incredible. Right across the street was a powerhouse gym, and that Chatsworth for that period was dominating the Leaders Bulletin. So for somebody that works as hard as you do, you're always, working, if you're following the stories, Instagram, you're at the office, you're doing stuff. How is it being married to somebody like you? What's it like to be married to me? So you're gonna know I'm gonna work. You're gonna know I'm building. If I'm not at the office, if I'm on the road, if I'm traveling, if I'm in meetings.
His poor wife, man. My wife, Jennifer.
I'm growing the business. You will know that part. And then when it's time with family, I enjoy my Sundays. And
did he say I've never seen anyone using his nose that way?
Sundays exclusive for my kids, my wife, for my family. I look forward to Sundays. And we're gonna have our date nights on Saturday nights. You're gonna see somebody that's gonna be working, and you're also gonna see someone like the other day, my son will come here and we'll spend some time together. He'll run around and have fun. They're always at the office. They enjoy being here. I mean, we got slides here, we got video games here, we got ping pong here. We set up the gym in a way where kids also want to be here, right? So they're coming here regularly, and when they come, they can figure out a way to entertain themselves. One of the better things about being a business owner or entrepreneur is you get to dictate what kind of an environment.
Jet Blackberry in the chat said Drake was only good in Degrassi. Be very careful now. Be very careful now. We don't tolerate Drake slander in this cult.
You want to create where it's either family friendly or not. I decided to create a type of an environment that my kids also going to enjoy coming here. So yes, I am still working very hard, if not harder today. You don't typically hear, traditional thought isn't husband and wife work together, right? I know you and your wife work together. She's in your company with you regularly. How is that dynamic of the two of you working together?
Oh, someone commenting on his acting skills. Yeah. It's like how Al Pacino would act with his eyes. Patrick is just acting with his nose, like he's emoting through his nose. Somebody do it. Somebody put Patrick a picture of Patrick's face, like a high quality picture of a headshot of him, into ChatGPT and say, give him a normal nose. I wonder how he would look with a normal nose.
On a daily basis. Work, we never have issues.
Imagine when he's like 80 years old, because your ears and your nose never stop growing. Imagine that fucking beak when he's 80.
When it comes to work, because everybody knows their role. She's empowered. She's a VP of operations, and she does a very good job as VP of operations. I'm very proud of her efforts. And then I'm the CEO. So at work, I'm not a husband. At work, I'm the CEO. At work, she's a VP of operations. So if you asked her, she would tell you, we've never had a conflict working with each other, except for the first week when we tried to share an office together. And I'm on the phones for 9 hours. If you can't handle me being on the phones for 9 hours, you need your own office. So we got her own office. But outside of that, our challenges are not work-related. It's more, we'll argue with off work, personal life, just like any other relationship, family, feud, challenges, kids, but we have zero issues when we work together. It's interesting you say that. I sat down with Mark Demos, he was from Seattle, and one of the things he was doing is he was working with a lot of these families from Amazon and Microsoft.
I feel bad because his wife Jen does seem like a nice person.
And the Templeton family and these billionaires, and he would talk about what it was like to be the kids of a billionaire. Do you ever feel like, do you ever in your back of your mind, do you think about like maybe you're casting a shadow over your kids and it's going to be tough for them to want to overcome that? Does that ever cross your mind? Do I worry about casting a shadow on my kids? No, I don't worry about that at all, although I don't know what it is for them. So I have to respect the fact that they may feel that way. But I'm not the one that's going to be telling them, you better become an entrepreneur because your daddy was an entrepreneur, or this was a legacy business, one day you're going to run it. There is no plans of that. They have to tell me that they want to do that. It's got to be their choice, because if it's their choice, they're going to give their best. If it's my choice, they're not going to give their best. So shadow to me is when somebody at the top is forcing you to do what they want you to do. There is no desire here of making my kids do whatever they want to do. Now, is there going to be an element of, can I ever reach the level that my dad reached in his life? Because in life, there's nothing more annoying than a great example. Nothing. When you got a great, my dad worked so hard, so it was always annoying to try to get in his shadow of hard work, because it was like, this guy works so hard, man. He always says whatever he says he's going to do, he does it. Man, I feel like I have to meet that. But it worked here because I wanted to duplicate his example. So, but I do know there's going to be some of it, and how they process that's going to be on them. But they're never going to get pressure from daddy to try to be daddy. They're going to get my support to want to encourage them to pursue their dreams, and it happens to be us work. Obviously, ideally, I'd love for us to run a business together, but I can't make that happen. They got to make that decision to happen. For folks who consume your content, it's constant. You got to go for it. You got to work hard. You got to stay focused. You got to do this. Sometimes maybe for the audience, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, do I have to be on all the time? Is it ever draining to be Patrick Bet-David? No, never. Not at all. Like when I tell you not at all, I mean literally not at all. Because you have to realize, when my wife and I made a decision to become entrepreneurs, we started a company, and then 4 weeks later we get a massive lawsuit from a $400 billion company. And one day we're in bed and...
Ooh, interesting. I wonder if it was because he left World Financial Group, that World Financial Group sued him for like violating his non-compete, because this is historically what happens with every MLM. Somebody will branch off to start their own copycat spin-off MLM, and people who were in their downline in the previous one will come to the new one, and then the previous one will sue them for taking the downline away. This happens all the time. It happened with World Financial Group and the guy who left to start GFI, Global Financial Impact. I wonder if that's what he's talking about here too.
We get a massive lawsuit from a $400 billion company. And
$400 billion? What are you talking about?
one day we're in bed and, we're talking, hey, so was it the right decision, all this stuff. This was like 6 months into the business. And all my savings depleting. I'm all the way down to $13,000. She doesn't know it, but I know it. 12, 13 months into the business, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at the work, all this other stuff. What are we going to do? So look, this is what we signed up for. If it's what you signed up for, what do you mean draining? You chose this life. This is not a dictatorship where I was forced to live this life. I chose to live this life. If I chose
Yeah. Imagine he has a like sob story moment and then he hands himself a box of tissues. That would be fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
to live this life, it is on me to make it work. So draining to me is if you were forced to do something that you never wanted to do in the first place. But if you chose to, it's on you to have a
Yeah, 400 billion. Like who are you talking about? Was it Apple? You know?
positive attitude to go make it work, not on anybody else. And I was never forced to. I chose to do this, and I'm glad I did. And we did our best to make it work. Maybe let me rephrase this so it can help out a little bit more. Is it tiring to always be on? Oh, I'm not always on. No, I mean, listen, the cameras are not always on me. I'm not always on. There's days that, I get upset or I'm frustrated at times, but maybe something didn't go my way or a deal fell through or, someone's trying to do whatever they're doing, defamation of character deals, all this other stuff. You have to realize when a person decides to play it in the arena, take any of these athletes. If you don't like doing post-game interviews, you signed up for this. You have to do the post-game interviews. You have to do the media work. It's part of the work. So then don't go play for the NBA or MLB. You decided to do this. It's your choice. I decided to play ball, and I wanted to be in the arena.
LOL, Matt Sapala, the guy on his right, on his immediate right, is such a clown. Also, this guy to the far right, I forget his name, but he's such a clown. He was defending Patrick in the comments on my Instagram a little while ago on one of my videos reacting to Patrick's Jubilee, the one where they're all sitting around in a circle and he's being grilled about his business. This guy was in my comments glazing Patrick, and he ended up blocking me because he got totally fucking ratioed in the comments. But
this comes with it. So is it tiring sometimes? Yes. Are you sometimes going to feel like, oh my God, we gave our best and we got to recover? Absolutely. Are there days where you're not having the best of days? Yes. Is there an element of being a human? 100%. But is it still exciting to get up the next day and start your day? I can't even tell you how exciting it is. I've probably not been this excited about start my days in my entire life as I am today. And it's not getting less, it's getting more exciting. And let me explain why. So it's not like one of these one-liners you say just to kind of say it. Here's why. There are more unknowns in my life today than ever before. The more unknowns you have, positive unknowns, not negative unknowns. A negative unknown is what?
the editor who had to endure hours of schizo rambling. I mean, how has Rob not fucking hung himself by now, listening to the podcast every day? The yap, the constant yap.
Pending lawsuit. Something you messed up, not negative unknowns. A negative unknown is what? Pending lawsuit. Something you messed up with.
Me, pending lawsuit. Yep, dealing with that.
And it's pending, like you don't know what's going to happen. Those negative pending unknowns, they are draining, create anxiety, panic, a lot of that stuff. Yep. When you got positive unknowns, I don't know what my sons are going to do. So exciting. I don't know what my daughter's going to be. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going to happen with this business here. We're growing. That's exciting. I don't know what direction the media company's going. That's exciting. There are so many positive unknowns today that's like a gas tank just fueling you up throughout the entire day. That's what it feels like today with my life. The one episode you did, I think it's titled 14 Strategies to Beat Goliath.
I think it's titled.
Right? And this Goliath is an enemy. It's like, oh, what if you're facing somebody that's bigger than you? Who are your current enemies that you're going up against? Who is my biggest enemy? As I came up competing, as I came up in the marketplace, there was always a target. I'm going after this guy, or I'm going after this company, or I'm going after this person. Nothing creates more urgency for me than knowing and wanting to find out what my capacity looks like. So for example, imagine if I give my best, I can get to here, right? I want to meet this guy. I can't live my life getting to here. So the enemy is this guy slowing me down to just celebrate what I currently have today. But I'm not interested in meeting this guy. I'm interested in meeting this guy. I want to meet this guy. I want to know what this guy's capable of doing. I want to know how this guy thinks. I want to know how this guy processes issues. I want to know how he looks at challenges or, in every aspect of life. How do you process politics, parenting, marriage, kids, finance, economy, religion, sports? How do you process all of that? I want to talk to this guy. I want to meet this guy. So the enemy is anything and any spirit that prevents me from meeting this guy.
Always Marco.
That's the person I want to meet. If even I get in my way of meeting
This guy's such a goober, man.
this guy, I'm gonna make sure I straighten that up. Because I don't even want myself, my victories, my current whatever accolades that I have to make me feel like, oh my gosh, you've already reached it, look at the life you're living. No, I enjoy being in the arena. There's nothing more exciting than being in the arena. Then the idea is, which is what I'm doing, then it's own the
What up, Specs? Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is just a cringe fest. B-roll of himself.
arena. Then it's to build many arenas, then to see how big you can scale it. It's the phases of life you're going to, right? So I'm excited about always the next phase. I would assume in the world of business, you know, for someone that's in it, you know, no businessman or businesswoman is undefeated. But you're gonna lose every once in a while. I wonder, how do you handle defeat or a loss? I will tell you, like for me, when something happens that's a setback or a defeat, I like to immediately get back into it again. Like, you know, I'll give you a perfect example. The other day, I experienced a loss, right? And it was 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday night, right? I didn't like it. What'd I do? I came straight to the office. And I was here till 2:30 in the morning. And I woke up Sunday at 7:30, I still had my day with my kids. And all day I didn't take a nap, nothing, I was with them. But I chose to come here to the office. Why did I come here to the office? To map out my next moves. So to me, a defeat is got to have an element of getting back into the ring ASAP. I remember one time my son, there was an incident in the pool with our kids where he fell in the pool and his sister fell in the pool and he panicked for his sister. We got the sister out, but he panicked for his sister. And from that moment on, he went in the house and my wife comes in, the guy doesn't want to go in the pool. I said, that's not going to happen. He's got to go into the pool. He's not going in the pool. I said, he's going to go in the pool. He says, babe, I'm telling you, he's not going in the pool. He doesn't want to go outside to be by the. And I know this kid loves to swim. I came in, I said, let's go. He said, I'm not going. He says, hug me. Oh, let's go. I said, I'm not going. He says, let me make a promise to you. I will not ask you or drop you in the pool by yourself. I'm not going to do that. If you do this because you chose to do it, but hug me as hard as you want. So he hugs me. So let's go. He's crying the entire time we go in the pool. I'm in the pool. He's hugging me. And I said, look at me, look at me, look at me. He's looking at me. I said, don't panic. It's just a pool. You know how to do this. Nothing happened to your sister. You're okay. You like swimming. I don't like swimming. You love swimming. I see how you swim. I can't get you out of a pool. I scream to bring you out. So it's reminding him and processing everything with him. And then he's looking at me. I said, now I want you to go from hug me in the front to hug me in the back. So hugs me in the back. Okay, now I'm gonna go underwater. We're gonna go together. And then we go underwater, we come up. Now I want you to come to the front. I said, I want you to hold my hands. I'm not gonna let go, just hold my hands and kick. He's kicking, he's kicking. Took me an hour and a half of doing this with him. An hour and a half later, I let go of my hands. He swam, but I'm right there, he came. We did this a few times. And then his brother came in and then he forgot about it. And then he swam the rest of the day. But in that moment, if we don't face that defeat, that could affect them for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It could affect them as a
5, 10, 15, 20, like the range is crazy.
24-year-old, why would I do that to him? No. When you have a loss or a defeat, you got to get back into the ring immediately.
This was the perfect episode to just use this as an episode to like yap and grandstand about whatever he wanted.
When I have him, I'm going straight to my ring. Because I got to get back in there, get hit again to face it.
New Stream Deck edition, hug me from the back. Crazy shit.
Or else the fear and imagination creates this bigger monster inside and it stays in you and grows. I don't want that. You don't want that. So
monster growing inside you, ayo. Okay, now I'm reaching.
you got to face it immediately when it happens to you.
And then he realized he was blind. Yeah, you remember that? That's hilarious. The story he told about like Little John and what a Big Steve or whatever.
At least that's what I do. You've referenced this concept of David versus Goliath. Again, that episode I talked about earlier you did, which is 14 strategies on how to be Goliath. It's always like this David, Goliath. Maybe at the beginning stages you were a David, but some may look at you as a Goliath today. Who do you relate to more, David or Goliath?
What a stupid fucking question. Let's see how he answers.
To some of the people that I went up against, I may be Goliath now to them, yes, but I don't see myself as Goliath. I think Goliath was arrogant. You know, the reference to the story is arrogant, cocky, and didn't see anybody as a threat, and he thought he was untouchable.
Hello, I threw him in the pool. Okay, that's number one.
And David, to me, was more strategic. He looked at the other person's strengths and figured out a way to have an edge over the other person. I mean, it's constantly being David. Yeah, I'm sure there's other Davids that see me as a Goliath that they want to come after us and want to compete with us. More power to them. I encourage them to do that. But I relate more to David than I do to Goliath. You've quoted Robert Greene from 33 Strategies of War. You've talked about Sun Tzu, Art of War. You know, and there's a lot of different strategies and techniques of doing certain things. But do you feel you're open to, or you have shared all your strategies with everybody, or are there some that we don't know about? Not all of them. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, you're sharing what you're doing. It's great, yes, but few of them will be when I'm, you know, putting an event together at the Vault or something like that where it's intimate and it's close. In the smaller setting, your biggest strategies are always going to be unveiled in smaller settings, not bigger settings. So if you are in a smaller setting, of course, every single one of the guys that I work with who are in a group of 5 or 2 or 3, anything, because we're on the same team together. But if it's a bigger scale with everybody, not all of it. Smaller scale, all of it. So look, you often get criticized for, you know, content. If you follow the content in the comment section, why is he giving away all this content? In other, you know, online gurus, they're selling this content.
LOL, them putting the, them highlighting the comment from someone named Bean Flicker. These things are the truth. This man didn't come out here making this video to make himself money. He made this to help everyone. Sure, buddy.
Content for a couple $1,000s, but he gives away. There's got to be bigger motivation. Is there a scheme? Is there something you're doing with your, you know, intentions of giving away this content for free? I think scheme is a negative word. I don't know if I'm comfortable with the word scheme.
I like how, mind you, he's talking to himself.
If you're saying strategy, I can say yes, of course there is. I mean, absolutely there is. There is a strategy to the madness of that.
Oh no, not him melting the sign that says fear on it. How cringe.
Strategy to the madness of valuetainment. But here's what it is going to happen. Scheme to me is I win, you lose. Strategy to me is I win, you win.
How are you saying this with a straight face? Your company is literally, by virtue of the design, forget intention, by virtue of the endless chain multi-level marketing design, is meant for you to win and everyone else to lose. If that wasn't the case, why leave World Financial Group and start your own MLM where you're at the top, where you position yourself at the top?
Both winning together. So there's a very big long-term strategy with valuetainment. I wish there was a valuetainment when I was coming up, because I wanted to go to a place where I can get this content. I didn't. I had to get it through books. So YouTube has given us the opportunity to create content where somebody can watch this kind of stuff. So one is, I created a platform that I wanted when I was coming up. It's always, my mindset's always that way. Remember how earlier I said, if I believe in a product, I can sell it? I look at what's missing and what I wish I had, and then I go build it. So that's valuetainment. And I believe people learn better if there's an aspect of entertainment to it, right? Not just an aspect of value. Value by itself is boring. So value with entertainment becomes valuetainment, right? The great thing about online gurus is you can go out there and create content, and if your message resonates with people, you know, more power to them, okay? I like folks who have built a business before, and we will touch topics on valuetainment that people think about, but they don't want to talk about. I mean, sometimes we'll cross the line with politics. There's a lot of people that are frightened of talking about politics. You know, what if they lose an audience? What if somebody says something? What if somebody disagrees with them, right? But at the same time, I'm speaking and creating content on topics that people are thinking about, and I'm trying to give a different perspective. So whatever these online gurus want to do, if they're solving for selling more courses, if they're solving for selling more products, and that's their main outcome, yes, I understand their strategy, but that's not our outcome. Obviously, there's a vision, there's a long-term goal and what we want to do, and this is just one aspect of what our long-term goal is with media that we're trying to do. And so that's why I create content the way I do. The topic of trust is always being talked about on valuetainment. You're regularly talking about who to trust, levels of trust, you know, 7 ways to know if you can trust somebody or not. Do you feel like you're someone that's easy for you to trust other people, or is it tougher for you to trust folks? Look, it's kind of like being 18 years old and you go to apply for the first credit card, right? What's your credit score when you're 18 years old and you've never used your credit? Your credit is typically 720, because the FICA formula is give everybody the best. Got it. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You all start with a 720, not an 820, but at least a 720. And then from there, the credit bureau determines whether you drop off, you didn't make your car payment, you didn't make your credit card payment on time.
7 ways to know if you can trust somebody. Do they run a multi-level marketing scheme?
Your credit is typically 720 because the FICA formula is give everybody the best. Got it. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You all start with a 720, not an 820, but at least a 720. And then from there, the credit bureau determines whether you drop off, you didn't make your car payment, you didn't make your credit card payment on time, and your credit score goes from a 720 to a 680 to a 620 to 580. Now everybody knows you're not disciplined. And now bank's not going to give you $1 million loan or $500,000 loan or $100,000 car loan because everyone knows your credibility score now, right? Or you get your 720, you get a car, you make the payment on time. Good. You got a second car, you made the payment on time. Now you're 740. You bought a house for 3 years, you made the payment on time. Now your credit score is 778. Now we know who you are, but we started you at 720. Very similar formula. Everybody who works, they have a certain level of score that they've given the benefit of the doubt. And at that point, either you build on it or you take points away. That's pretty much exactly how I run it when I'm working with folks on my team. You know, when I watch your content on YouTube and then if I follow you on Instagram, I see you posting stuff, pranks. You know, you got one of your editors singing, you got Mario doing stuff, you got, you know, there's almost like a fun side. So I wonder, what is your tactic for handling pressure, especially the fact that you're running the business, the family, the kids, the investors, all this stuff. How do you manage the pressure in your life? You know, honestly, how I handle pressure is humor and pranks. If you are not, listen, just watch Jordan. If you watch Jordan, you would have seen that one of the great things about him was behind closed doors, the guy was about pranks, he was about fun, he was about jokes, he was about laughter. Any kind of pressure type situation, you have to relieve it by having a lot of humor and funny things that happen. If you don't, you can't manage. Military, when you're sitting around and you don't have a lot of things to look forward to, this is when you hear jokes. This is when you hear laughter. This is when people are telling each other stories, funny stories. Because laughter and pranks and humor tends to bring pressure down. You need humor. Humor is a big part of pressure. You're on the other side, like, meaning you create the content and you know, millions of people watch it and consume it, and whether you motivate them, I know you don't like to be called a motivational, but you sometimes motivate people, you inspire them, or you give them strategies. But who's motivating the motivator? Where do you get to get your content to be motivated? You got to figure out a way to have something feed you. Because if you're not being fed, you're going to be empty. It doesn't matter how much of a peak performer you are. You got to find a source of you being fed. Books, relationship, mentors, advisors, counsel. For somebody to give you encouragement, you need to be able to do that. Because if you don't, then eventually you're going to be drained yourself. This is why you hear even a high-performing athlete goes and pays $400,000 a year to have somebody mentally and emotionally keep them stable. There's a reason for doing that. This is a guy that's made it to the highest level. Why does he need somebody? Of course he needs somebody. Just because you made it to the highest level doesn't mean you don't also need to have somebody motivate you or work with you or give you clarity. So yes, I'm a big believer of having somebody that's driving you as well. You've mentioned many times different people that have influenced you a lot in your lives. But if we were just to kind of get it out there in the open so we can all find out, who would you say are some of the folks that influence you the most in your life? These guys in the back, the paintings, whether it's MLK, Milton Friedman, Shaw, Senna, Tupac, Lincoln.
Here we go. He's going through Shaw mentioned, everybody. Shaw mentioned.
JFK, Einstein, they influenced me tremendously. And a lot of the faces that you see in here, these three different personalities, an element of each within me, whether it's the Hulk, Batman, or Joker, or Jordan Cole, element of each within me, whether it's the Hulk, Batman.
That's why he has these statues there, cross-eyed George Clooney, because there's an element of them living in him, the Hulk, Batman, and the worst Batman, and the Joker. Okay.
That you see in here, these three different personalities, an element of each within me, whether it's the Hulk, Batman, or Joker, or Jordan, Kobe, Brady, Tyson, anybody that goes above and beyond influences me.
Oh my God.
Their method of madness to how they wanted to compete when they went up against their opponent, I relate to a lot. You tell the story about how you started the channel. First, it was called Patrick Bet David, right? And it was like 2 minutes with Pat, motivational videos. And then you go and change the channel's name to Valuetainment and you start doing entrepreneurship. And pretty much the channel becomes the #1 channel on YouTube for entrepreneurs. But then, you know, you've been doing a lot of bodybuilding interviews and a lot of, you know, mobsters and mafias. You know, is this still the focus to be the #1 channel on YouTube for entrepreneurs? Or are you trying to be the #1 channel on YouTube for mobsters or bodybuilding? Where is this going? Of course, it's the channel for entrepreneurs. It just so happens we've been interviewing a lot of mobsters. So Valuetainment right now has probably 4 audiences. One is folks in the fitness world, bodybuilders. Another one is those who
Was Hulk his stripper persona? LOL. What up, Jelly Snack? By the way, Jelly Snack, I don't know if you saw my message. I don't remember where I messaged you, but it might have been email. But I'm editing down the stream I did of the Unicity Zoom call that you screen recorded and asked questions in for an actual like video on the channel. I just wanted to let you know about that. Make sure that's cool. I assume it was cool since you sent me it to react to on my stream. So I don't see why you would have an issue with me editing the stream down to a video. But I just wanted to mention that, and I can credit you in the description and everything. This is reminiscent of a 90s infomercial that never ends, talking some BS on a product. Exactly, right?
enjoy the mob stories, whether it's
Average MLM scammer, always emphasize value, never provide any. Yep.
you know, Sammy the Bull Gravano or Frank Collada or Oscar Goodman or Michael Francis or whoever else may be.
I should interview myself like this, honestly. It would be way better.
And then you have folks who are in the entrepreneur space, and then some that are into politics. But it's really it's so funny because I'll run into people at the airport or at different places, and they'll say, "I follow valuetainment because of the entrepreneur content. I follow all the mob interviews. I follow all the bodybuilding interviews. I follow." So there's different audiences for it. Originally, it was one-dimensional. It was just entrepreneur. Today, we've been able to do more. That part wasn't intentional. It's just levels of interest, things that I know about that draws the audience, and maybe it's the questions that are being asked that's leading them to want to know more about the guests that we're having. The guests you've had, they're from all walks of life. Whether it's, I think you sat down with General Spalding. I think he was an Air Force general, and he had some insider information to share with us on China and the relationship with U.S., or Kevin Hart, or even Sammy the Bull Gravano, where he sat down and did the interview with you.
Jesus Christ, Sammy the Bull Gravano looks like a wax figure.
You opened up, or even Kobe Bryant. You were one of the last ones to interview Kobe Bryant. What do you take away from all of these stories when you sit down and talk to them? I mean, obviously, it's a different perspective for the viewer, but how are you processing all these guests that you're sitting down with? It's hearing their story and seeing similarities between what led them to become who they are. Like, what I'm looking for is to see what made a Sammy become Sammy, and what made a Kevin Hart become Kevin Hart. What made General Spalding have the opinion that he has on China? I'm curious about that. When he lived in China for 3 years, what did he learn about China? And then obviously Kobe Bryant is a guy that I followed from the day he came into the NBA when he got traded for Vlade Divac. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. So at that time when we got him, it was just a beautiful thing, because him and Shaq running together was a beautiful thing. That's one that we will appreciate for the rest of our lives, because not only did I grow up with Kobe and I are 6 weeks apart, and we were establishing a relationship together as a guy that he's a competitor, and him and I, some of the conversations we had off camera were 10 times better than the conversations we had in the interview. So that's one that my wife and my kids still talk about regularly, you know, when it's with Kobe. But the main thing is what got the person to become who they are today. And if there was a tweak that was made in that moment, could they have gone in a different direction? We would have known their stories, either for positive or a good. Could there have been an opportunity for us to prevent a Sammy from happening? Could an inspiration or somebody giving him better direction had Sammy go a complete different route? So every one of them has a different story, but you're trying to find out what caused them to become the way they are today. Valuetainment to me is a lot of your philosophies being shared with the rest of the world, right? So it's kind of like you believe this or you believe that, but there's a lot of different ones. Do you have a core philosophy or core philosophies that you live by? Like one? Yeah. I don't know if I have one. I think I have many. Now,
Do what's best for you. Fuck everybody else. Doesn't matter who it hurts.
obviously, whatever I teach my kids, lead, respect, improve, love. But I think within that is a lot of my philosophies. If I were to put the biggest one in there, you know, I would say rule of threes is big for me. Anything you do 3 times, you know how to do. If you've been able to make $100,000 3 years in a row, you know how to make $100,000 your 4th year, okay? If you've made 3 sales that each paid you $10,000, you know how to do it the 4th time. You didn't get lucky. But if you made a sale only 1 time and you got $100,000, you've never done it again, you probably got lucky. If you've done anything 1 time, it's luck.
Oh man, if only Neon Knight says if only PBD was on Kobe's copter, SMH. If only Kobe wasn't on it, you know? Why didn't he just make a video? Why the self-interview element? That's what I wondered too. It would have been so much more like real and endearing if he had just talked to the camera or had the questions pop up on the screen rather than actually acting out, interviewing yourself. You know? He probably forces his wife and kids to listen to his lame stories over and over. Oh my God. Can you imagine how many times his wife has heard some of this shit?
Like if you do it 3 times, it's great. So I produce, that generates confidence for an individual to be thinking about saying, you've done this 3 times, guess what? I'm not an amateur, I know how to do it a 4th time. And then the other part is that I look at all my data, and whatever data I have, I try to beat whatever data I have currently today. So if I did something and our biggest month ever was 300 policies we sold in a month, my goal is to do 400 policies in a month. I don't say, oh, that guy's doing 3,000, I'm at 300, my God, I can't beat this guy, so I'm discouraged. No, I'm not trying to beat that guy right now. I'm trying to beat 300 to go to 400, to go to 500, to go to 600. We started off selling 50 policies a month. Today, last month we sold 6,654 policies in a month because we went from 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 400, and we brought it up. So, rule of 3s and constantly beating your prior best. I remember, I don't know how long ago it was, maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know the number. I do remember you did shut down the channel valuetainment for 3 months. And the plan was to maybe not even come back. And it kind of concerned some people. Obviously, you got a lot of comments about people being upset with the fact that the channel was shutting down. Are you going to create content forever, or are we again going to get a time or a moment where you decide to suddenly shut down the channel? I don't know how much longer I'll be creating content, but valuetainment is going to be around for quite some time.
God.
But me creating new content, I don't know how long that's going to be around. It's crazy to say this, but when we first started, I had no idea what direction we're going to go. Obviously, there's some things I like that you say and some things I don't like that you say, but this is going to sound weird. I see a lot of me and you, and I just relate to you. I don't know what it is. I feel like we have a lot in common. But having said that, I know you've written many books. I know you got a book coming out. Can you tell us a little bit, give us a sneak peek of this new book that you have coming out with Simon & Schuster?
This is insane. He's literally not even being sarcastic. This is insane.
This is a book I've been looking forward to coming out for a while. We've been working on it for a good 3 or 4 years. And it's a book I wish I would have had when I was coming up. Even if it's 18 years old or 21, even though it's tailored for C-suite executives and entrepreneurs. It's about you knowing your next 5 moves, no matter what aspect of your life and no matter what phase of your life you're at.
You are him. Oh my God. I'm imagining the PHP recruits frantically taking notes throughout this interview. Yeah, no kidding. What a jokester. What a clown. You are on acid. Yes, user.
If you look at a chat like that you say and some creating new content, what direction we're going to go.
I got to clip this.
Obviously, there's some things I like out of me and you, and some things I don't like that you say, but obviously there's some things I like that you say and some things I don't like that you say, but this is going to sound weird. I see a lot of me and you, and I just relate to you. I don't know what it is. I feel like we have a lot in common, but having said that, I know you've written many books.
I didn't edit this, by the way. This is a real video he uploaded to his channel called Patrick Bet-David Interviews Patrick Bet-David, and he's doing this like unironically, This guy is insane.
I know you got a book coming out, and it's a book
Yours? How many years?
Been looking forward to coming out for a while. We've been working on it for a good 3 or 4 years, and it's a book
3 or 4 years.
Wish I would have had when I was coming up. Your life you're at. If you look at a chess player, right? A grandmaster is somebody that typically they'll say he or she knows their next 10 or 15 moves, right? So as they're playing you, they already know what they're going to be doing to you based on whatever you'll be doing, right? In life, it's the same thing. I'm going to be making this move now that's going to lead to this one, then that one, right? Because many times you'll see people that are...
I love the quote, the ability to play chess is the sign of a gentleman. The ability to play chess well is the sign of a wasted life. There's been a few different phases in my life. I think 2018, 19, and then like 2022, I had these phases of really like playing chess every day and trying to get better at chess. And eventually you get a point. For me, it was around like 800 ELO. You get to a point where now it's not fun anymore because it's all just about memorizing theory and patterns. And it's like, that's not fun for me, Just the whole Like, to really be the best chess player, you have to literally have no life. And I'm chilling.
Trying to do move number 28 on move number 3, and that's why they don't get to move 28, because they're trying to do it too early. And when you do it too early, you're not creating the necessary sequence to get to 28. And also on top of that, with this book, your next five moves is something that as you go through it, you're going to learn. There's a whole section in the book about how to put the right team together, and there's a whole section in the book about power plays.
Of course, he's got to plug his book here.
The world of business and life is a lot of power plays. If you don't know the right power plays, others will be playing the power plays on you. So there's that section that people will read, which I can't wait to get folks to go through. But yeah, again, a book I wrote that I wish I would have had years ago when I was first getting started in business. Look, I can make one commitment for you. Here's a commitment I'm going to make to you in front of everybody. This is a commitment I'll make to you. I guarantee you no one's going to promote your book more than I will. That's
We know, Pat. We get it. We get the shtick by this point in the video. Thank you, though.
the commitment I'm making to you right now. On camera. It's on camera. I'm telling you right now, I'm committing to moving a lot of your books. And by the way, obviously, we're getting to the end of the interview. If you have any thoughts and if you have any comments, we're going to put his Twitter handle where you can send him a tweet, or you can send me a tweet as well, what you took away from this interview. But for final thoughts, and we'll put the link of the book below as well if you want to go find out more about the book. Final thoughts. You talk about this book being your next 5 moves. I think it's fair to finish on this note is, what are your next 5 moves? That's a good question. My next 5 moves are...
Oh my Christ, oh my. I can't believe I made it through that. Can't believe you've done this. Well, that's all I've got for y'all today. I mean, how long have we been doing this? Almost 3 hours. I'm not going to subject you to any more. Appreciate you guys being here. Thumbs up the ting, of course. Dono link in the chat and the description if you want to support. I would plug the Patreon, but I don't have one anymore. Join as a channel member if you love me. Valentine's Day. Shit, Valentine's Day's in 3 days. Fuck, I wish I was back in Thailand. It would have been more special. All right. Appreciate y'all. We did it. Peace out. Yes, sir. We gave him the money. Boom. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.